We'd like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life. This is our time where the passport bros. We'd like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life. This is our time where the passport bros. We'd like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life. This is our time where the passport bros. We'd like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time, where the passport show. What's going on, brothers? Guess who's back? What's up, brothers? What's up? Hope you're well all around the world. Press the one in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear. Mayday, check 1 2, check 1 2. Feel audio good as I'm live right now? Am I good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Like, you're good.
Same for you as well, bro. Thank you so very much. Brothers in the chat, can you hear me loud and clear? How is international passport accent like? Black Muslim in the building. I'm the Tube, Ray Blanco, TS. Thank you very much for confirming. Aside from that, hope you're all well. So let's get to announcement first and foremost. Please hit the like button. Likes are very much appreciated. Support the channel. Hit the super chats. Hit the PayPal donations. Please support what I do throughout the stream. You can join a Patreon too for info on stocks, crypto, traveling, and foreign women. A couple of the stock recommendations and crypto recommendations are popping up in the market right now. I told you IP's research is solid. Aside from that, please cop the merch too and show some support. The other day, Black Muslim showed some support the other day by copping a t-shirt. Thank you, Black Muslim. The t-shirt looks good on you, bro. So much appreciate, bro. So brothers, get your merch, okay, on the Teespring link. Book your IT consultation with me for intel on IT guidance, and how to go about the IT way to help financial travels and be a IT bro and passport bro. Okay. So also an announcement. So currently teaching my current Python students. Amazing men, great to teach so far. I was teaching them yesterday on Sunday, and we got a bunch of geniuses in the class and field. So I'm super impressed. So that means the next Python course coming Q1 2025, man. Spaces will go quick, so make sure you book your spot next year, okay? So any announcements from you, Phil, before we get to it?
Hold on. Let me remind the students, guys, you can't take my AI course next year or in 2026 without first passing IP's Python course. So again, I am working with IP there. I don't want to be teaching Python in my AI course. I'm having to do that right now. And so you do have to take that. So that is the added bonus. Please go take IP's Python course. Then you'll be ready for my AI course in March 2026.
Awesome. AI is the future. So thank you for obviously taking the time out to teach brothers AI. Much appreciated, Theo. So let's get straight into it, okay? So the title of today's stream, right, is called "Is Marriage an Outdated Concept in Modern Times?" Passport Bros debate if marriage is a scam for men. Okay, this is something that has been on the pipeline to discuss over the last several months, but has actually been a discussion amongst our groups that we speak to in the community. And if you're not part of the community, you can join the Discord Facebook group. You can join the Reddit page as well. But Discord is where we have a lot of discourse there as well, okay? Which is why it's called Discord, okay? So we have to discuss, what does marriage place in our lifetime right now, okay? We are in 2024, and 2024 is vastly different from life in the 1950s, 1940s, 1930s, even the 1970s, okay? Throughout the decades, we have seen the rise of big tech, social media, various, how do I say in words, various cultural new cultural rises, feminism, and all this other nonsense that's grown up, that's kind of, risen in the past several decades, right? Okay. And it kind of draws marriage into question. We've seen huge divorce rates in the West. We have seen a lot of men. I think we reacted to a video last week where rich, successful guy in Miami said his friends around him are not even thinking about getting married, and they even want to have kids as well. So we're at a point where, a lot of successful men are checking out marriage completely. What is going on? Okay. So I've got some points here that me and Fio are going to debate here in terms of what does marriage, stand in our lives as passport bros. As you go abroad, is marriage the correct way to do things? Okay, particularly whereas we as Western men, we're going to have more wealth, more resources, more assets than the foreign shit that we're going to deal with. Okay, so is marriage a risk to us to lose everything, even though she's foreign? Okay, we must discuss that. Okay, so the first point here that I want to just discuss here, right, is that men have more to lose, okay, in a marriage. And I think we can accept in rare cases, right, most men are not going to marry a woman that's going to be richer than them or have more assets than them. What do I mean by that? The average woman isn't into cryptocurrency. The average woman isn't thinking about investing in stocks. The average woman isn't as financially literate as a man. Let's keep it real, okay? So essentially, men are coming into marriage with a lot more assets than a woman, and that creates an imbalance there, okay? And if a woman is aware about that, right, and she's a devious woman, okay, she may be plotting to take some things from you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and you never know it, okay? And that puts men at risk here in terms of getting married, not only to a Western chick, but to a foreign chick. Theo, what's your point there in terms of men have more to lose in a marriage? If so, why get married in the first place if you have more to lose?
So marriage in the West, if you are in the West, if you are standing in the West, marriage is not beneficial for a man. It's too, it favors women by far too much. And this is because of the divorce process. So the governments, the law, give undue benefits to women to such a degree that I cannot recommend being married in the West whatsoever. In fact, again, when I was married in Japan, I did not register my marriage in Japan in the United States because of just how bad the laws are here in the United States. And so I only brought my Japanese wife over to America for about 2 weeks out of our marriage. Fortunately, she did not want to live in America anyway, so that was very good to me. So I would also say, do not, first off, do not get married in the West. And then secondly, if you marry abroad, do not register your marriage in the West and do not bring her long-term into the West either. You can't do either one. It is just by far too dangerous. The women know, or they learn how to weaponize marriage against the man. And everything is set. Everything here is set not to support families and marriage. It's to enforce Order 66 within divorce. And it's all against the man. So, guys, as far as I'm concerned, you should not even consider marriage in the West whatsoever.
Interesting there for you, right? So you mentioned marriage in the West, right, which is cool, right? Let's say you're dealing with a foreign chick, right? Okay, and she comes to your Western country for the first time. She knows you're American, you're from the UK, right? And then you bring her for holiday, right, for the first time, and she really likes America. She really likes the UK, and she wants to move to America and UK, and she's aware that you have property in America and UK. So it's a simple process where you can just stay in your spot, okay? And she likes it more and more for you, okay? And we know that's a problem there for you, okay? Because there will be some foreign chicks that may like, right, your Western country. Again, right? And we know how the West influences women with their cultural values, cultural norms. That could be a problem there. So it's not kind of foolproof by saying that, okay, your wife didn't like the West like that, which was great. But, you know, some foreign chicks, right, may like what they see in the West when you bring them in for a holiday and they want to move there with you, Theo. How do you deal with that?
Well, that's simple. Go get another foreign chica. Tell her the relationship is over. You get back on the airplane and you return back to wherever you're at and go find another woman. Simple. And then you don't show her the assets that you have abroad, whatsoever. So as long as you're not showing her your wealth that you have, you just show her enough that what she needs to know about you in her own country. You keep the focus on her, on your own on that country. That's it. I'll just be honest with you. When I was married in Japan, we spent more time in the UK than we did in the United States. So we were in the UK, I think about how many weeks? About 17 weeks total during our marriage, something like that. We were in France at least 1 month. So, you know, there was no risk for me there because she couldn't get any of my assets and she couldn't do anything with divorce there. We're both foreigners. So if you want to bring her on holiday, bring her to another country, but do not bring her to your country. That's just a simple way. Again, if you bring your foreign girlfriend over, like, you know, on holiday to your country and she wants to stay there, say good luck with that. Get back on the airplane and go find another woman.
Interesting, Theo. Now, Theo, you know that woman's mind changes, right? So let's say in the first instance, right, she's not interested in moving to the West, even though she knows have a property there, she's been there before, etc., etc. But let's say 2 years in the marriage, right? She slowly starts liking what she sees about the UK and America, and she knows that you have a property there, right? You're married, Theo. So that's gonna be a lot more trickier, right? To tell her to F off, right? I'm gonna get a new chick. You're married to her. She likes your home country. She knows you have a property there. She can easily stay there with a 3-month visa, potentially get a spousal visa and live there in your homeland. Now she's in the West, Theo, right? We got to think about that situation as well, Theo. So how would you do with that?
No. You have to register your marriage in your home country, and you the national have to do it yourself. So if you don't register the marriage in the UK, in your example, she can't do anything. Then in order to get a spousal visa, you have to sponsor her. You have to go to your government and sponsor her for that. She can't do that individually. It's impossible. So no, man, that's not reality. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay. So let's say, right, you refuse to sponsor a spousal visa and she so desperately wants to move to America and UK, and you're like, no. Sophia, right? And let's be real there, divorce may happen there. She may start resenting you. Hey, why can't I go to your home country? And Theo, that proves my point there, right? Why divorce is a risk. It's things like that, Theo, that can actually break apart marriage. She's so desperate to move to your home country, and she's like, hey, why don't you sponsor my visa? We're in love, right? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and you're like, no. She will start to resent you, and potentially divorce may happen there, Theo. And that proves my point, Theo, as to why it's a risk to marry at any time in general. You get where I'm going here, Theo?
No, because then in that case, if you're in another country, she doesn't have access to your assets. So you literally tell her, B, get out of here. And you just, in fact, divorce her against her, and your assets are just fine. She's the one who has the problem. You're the one who goes on another date. It's that simple. You just exercise it on her. That's it. In Japan, it's very simple. You just go, you get this document, You take it to your city hall. You say, I want a divorce. And then they bring her in and they say, are you going to sign this document? And that's it. It's done. Particularly if you don't have any children, it's over. She doesn't get any rights to anything. She's out in the streets. She has to go find out what she's, especially if your name was on the apartment or the house, she has to go find some place to live, not you. You're set. You go find another woman, go to Roppongi, find something strange, have some fun. That's it. It's done. Colombia, Brazil, pretty much similar. There's a longer process in Colombia. In Brazil, there's also a longer process, but it's in the same way you are protected. So you just sit back and say, look, if you're interested in going to the United States or the UK in your example, and that's what you're trying to get done here, this is not going to happen. You're not going to get it.
Interesting. So, brother, let's say a child is in the picture for you, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. You're not giving her a spousal visa to your home country. You have a child. She really wants to go to her home country and live there. She knows you have a property there, a flat, a small house there. Still divorce, even if you have a child.
Well, again, if you have she doesn't have any. Your foreign wife does not have any rights to your property abroad because your marriage is not registered abroad. She can't do anything. You're totally protected. So that court does not have jurisdiction. An American court, a Colombian or Japanese court does not have jurisdiction over your assets in the UK. Just the way it is. So you can just tell her, hey, look, I'm not, you have to share the child, of course, and when you're abroad, but you don't have to worry about losing your assets.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So next point here, Phil, right, is now in terms of marriage, right? I think it's a very, how do I say? It's a very vital part in your life, right? And I feel like, you need to know someone very well in order to marry her. Okay. And it's kind of hard, right? So let's say, Phil, right? Let's say we got someone in their 40s, right, or 30s, right? Okay, they've been with a woman for 3 years, 4 years now, okay, and they're itching towards marriage, all right. And I think people have said that you want to know a woman inside out, you want to live with her first, and it probably will take around 3 or 4 years to know a woman inside out, right, to get married, right? But let's say you're in your 30s and 40s, right? Okay. And then you're with a chick, and in the 4th year of her, right? Okay, you find out that we're not really compatible, right? Or she breaks up with you, or you break up with her. That's 4 years wasted. Now, are you telling me, right? You're going to find another woman, and then there for 4 years to see if she's marriage material? What if that doesn't work out after 2 years? So you get what I'm saying here, Theo, right? Okay. So if people have an end goal to marriage, right, is knowing a woman for multiple years the right length of time, knowing how short life is. If you're spending multiple years trying to know a woman inside out, and it doesn't work out on the 3rd year or on the 4th year, you got to start again, Phil, right? And then spend more years knowing the other woman. That doesn't work out. So you're wasting years, right, trying to get to know a woman. Okay, and that proves my point there, Phil, right? Is marriage? Should marriage be the end goal here? Particularly when you're in your 40s, 30s, you ain't got time as you were in your 20s, right, to spend 4 years to know a chick. So let's say you're 22, okay? You got a girlfriend, right? You got 23, 24, 25, 26, right? You're still at that young age. That's cool. It doesn't work out during those 4 years. Get another girlfriend, spend 2 or 3 years knowing her. You'll be 29, 28, cool. Whereas a man in his 30s and 40s may not have those years to actually, spend to know a chick for you. Okay, so how would you do with that then? Because I hear a lot of people, right? They be with a girlfriend for 3 years or 4 years, and in the last year that they're together, it doesn't work out. You're like, what the hell? I wasted 4 years with that chick or knowing that chick. And then you got to try again, Theo. Another 4 years. It doesn't work out. So, and that's what I'm saying, Theo, right? What's your thoughts on that point?
That's it doesn't matter how long you know her. At any point there could be a change. And that is a part of the risk of marriage. That is just a part of life. And you have to accept it. It's not time lost, it's just life. So you don't know. You also don't know if the person's going to die or not. So you just have to deal with it in that case. And somebody was saying in the chat, date multiple women. Nope, that's not so much of an answer either. You have to do a vetting process. My point that I've always stated is that it doesn't really matter how long you know her. When you put a ring on her finger, you usually get to see a different woman. You get the true woman comes out. So she might be totally different than who she was when you were dating her, or she might improve. You don't know. The ring changes a lot. And also when she gives birth, you get another woman as well. You might get another woman. So at that time, you have to understand that nothing is guaranteed, and you have to kind of renegotiate with her because she has a change. That's just the way it is. Again, that's the way it's been forever. I mean, pretty much. The only difference is that women have the ability to divorce now, whereas before they didn't. So when they changed, they had to suck it up, whereas now they can change and then blame the man. But this is in the West. If she comes from a very solid family background where she has her mother, her grandmother, like her aunts, she has a solid maternal background, she is less likely to leave because first she has support, and then she has a bunch of women in her family saying, hey, you stay with your man. You don't do some crazy stuff here. This is normal, right? But if you're in the West in particular, where she's isolated, she doesn't really have access to that kind of family structure, and then the courts are going to give her, your money. Well, then you shouldn't have been with her in the first place, as far as I'm concerned. Again, as we say, you're not supposed to date in the West, period, anyway. So again, abroad, something could happen. It's just a part of life. You'll be just fine.
Can you marry a woman after 6 months of knowing her, Theo? So you meet her, after 6 months you get married. Do you think that's a reasonable thing to do? It's only after 6 months.
I'll say this: 6 months or 10 years, it doesn't matter, because you don't know who she's going to be when the ring is on her finger. There's no guarantee. You only get to know who she is when you put the ring on her finger. Then that's it. So basically, when men get married, they hope that their wife doesn't change. They hope the situation maintains. And when women get married, they think of that as the start. And now they're going to do something different. And you're talking about two different worlds. That's why ultimately, again, when we say in the manosphere, do not marry her. And this is in the West. Do not marry her. Only date her if you're going to date in the West, because then she has to be on her toes the entire time. Whereas my personal feeling is, if you get married abroad, for the most part, we're outside the West. We're not talking about the West. Outside the West, a lot of times the woman becomes better in marriage. Like it's an improvement. Like the fiance versus wife is an upgrade to your operating system. Whereas in the West, it's like running Ubuntu and then going down to like Windows 3.1 suddenly. like what the hell? What just happened? I mean, straight out. So
Fiona,
yeah,
go on.
It's a downgrade. You have a bigger problem getting married in the West. I wouldn't I would not recommend it whatsoever.
I definitely agree that feel right. But you're telling me, right, feel right. If you're abroad right now, feel right. You met a Brazilian chick, right? And she fits your requirements. Are you telling me, feel right? You would marry her after 6 months of knowing her, after only 6 months.
It could be it could happen. I'm not against that.
What's the minimum months, brother, that you should? Because I believe that time matters, right? To
It's
know a
not.
woman. Come on, Sophia, right? So
It's not. It's not about time. It's not about time. You have to fundamentally know who you are. You need to fundamentally know this in a very deep manner. Who you are, what your triggers are, what you like, what you're going in life. You need to understand this. If you don't understand this, it doesn't matter how long you date her, you will never have enough time to get married. It literally doesn't matter. So you need to know who you are first, deeply. Secondly, you have to spend the time with her, and you have to understand if she knows who she is and if she has certain values. If she knows who she is, she's ready for marriage, she wants to get married, all that kind of stuff, and you two have the same vision, you're clicking, you're vibing together, you definitely think there's more value in marriage. 6 months, yeah, you can get married. Yeah, not an issue. But if you two don't know who each other are, 6 months or 10 years, it doesn't matter. You're in the same situation, the same boat. You can't. You're not ready to get married. Time doesn't matter.
Don't you want to live with her first? And I don't think you're gonna live with a woman after 6 months, right? Because it's too short. You're gonna know her first. You'd be meeting up once a week for 6 months. Don't you want to live with each other in the same apartment first? See how she is, her habits, before ringing her finger.
No. I'm totally
Because,
against that. Honestly speaking.
Why not?
Yeah,
why is that?
I did not live with my Japanese wife, although I was at her place often. I had a key to her apartment, and she had a key to my apartment, and she was at my place quite often too. But we didn't move in with each other. I had my place, and she had her place, and for the most part, I mean, we slept separately, to be honest. And that's just because, I mean, you got to go all in. That's it. It promotes this idea of knowing who you are and being able to make decisions. What happens a lot of times is that somebody doesn't know who he is, he's not committed, but he wants that booty. So he gets the booty without knowing who he is and what he wants and what he's doing. And to be honest, that puts the woman at risk, because she's liable and susceptible to getting pregnant. And then if he disappears, what's in it for her? And in our community, how many times does that happen? That's an issue. So I always say, this is real conservative on my part. No, man, if you're serious about things, then you should be able to take care of an entire situation and be like, hey, look, I know what I want. I want you. I want the entire situation, and I know what I'm going for. I'm willing to put a ring on it. So, again, my way of thinking is a bit different, but it prevents, single motherhood. It prevents trips to Planned Parenthood. It prevents a lot of misery that particularly women have. I don't want women to go through that. So it's what I do.
Interesting. So, right, the average man, right, who's a passport bro, isn't getting married in his 20s because it takes time to build yourself up, do the exams, build wealth, invest, see your assets grow before you're a made man. So it's in the 30s, right, mid 30s, late 30s, early 40s, or maybe early 30s where you're thinking about marriage. Okay, so, and I think a rule of thumb, as to what I've been told, how things are in the UK is that at least minimum 3 years to be with a woman before you put a ring on the finger, 4 years. And you see, and you know, is that outdated? Perhaps, because we live in a very fast-paced world. That can be a good or bad thing. It's very tough, man, because dudes ain't getting married in their 20s. They're not. They're spending time studying, traveling, but mostly studying and building themselves up, because in the 20s, men don't have much assets or experiences as dudes in their 30s and 40s in terms of wealth and, you know, compound interest. So that's a good discussion there, Theo. Okay. So it's good to hear your thoughts in terms of, doesn't matter if it's 3 months, 6 months, know who each other are. Go on, bro.
Remember, I was a passport bro when I was, how old was I? I started officially when I was 20. I did my 2 years in Europe, so from 20 to 22. And then when I was 24, I left, went to Japan, one-way ticket. I got married when I was 28 years old. So I knew where I was going, and I put the work in to make that happen. I also knew who I was and what I wanted. And so again, it's about putting that work in. If you don't put the work in and knowing yourself, getting yourself together, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're not ready, just fundamentally. So I say, make sure you know who you are, what you're doing. And you can't be like, again, what they Japanese say, chuto hampa. You can't be like so warm-hearted about this. You got to be all in. And what we see is a lot of guys who aren't all in. So what they would say is, for example, well, this Thai girl looks good, and what this Ethiopian girl looks good, stuff like this, right? So they're thinking with the head down there instead of the head up here. And if that happens, you can't achieve anything. When I went abroad, I was thinking with both heads. So I was like, I want a Japanese woman, and this is what I need to do to get a Japanese woman. Okay, let's go do that. It was let's execute. And I did that execution rather well. Most guys are unwilling to execute effectively, and they're not thinking with the big head up here. That's why they have their problem.
Awesome, bro. So next one I want to discuss here, right, is Western influences in TikTok. So you're married abroad, right? Okay. But I think we need to be resigned to the fact that the Western propaganda is strong. Like, even when I was in Japan recently, right, I could see strong Western propaganda permeating in Japan, right? So we can't escape it, okay? And what does that mean? It means that it could actually somehow seep into your marriage, okay? And it means that the TikToks, the TV shows may influence women, right, in terms of changing their thinking about how they want to view life, feminism, having guy friends now, all that stuff, right? Which I saw in Japan. I'll be real with you. I did see in Japan. So I'm worried as to, you marry a chick, right? She's traditional at first, okay, but because of TikTok, because let's be real with it, there's no way you can actually stop your wife or girlfriend from having social media. They're gonna have it. I'm resigned to that. They're gonna have it, okay? The cousins will be on it, family will be on it, friends will be on it. They're gonna have it, okay? So you have no idea what she's taking in from the TikToks, right? From the Instagrams, from what her friends are saying, okay? From what cultural influences are saying as well in regards to relationships, blah blah blah. And you're seeing that seep in your marriage, right? Okay, and you're thinking, yo, this is a completely different person from a year ago or 2 years ago when I first got married, okay? So to avoid that, right, why get married? So if you know that Western culture is going to spread eventually, right? And even though Trump is in office right now, it won't stop because liberals have their own agenda, okay? You can't control every information, right, in your household. Why get married, bro? Think about it. Why?
Well, there are benefits to marriage. So what you're talking about is, you say propaganda. I'm going to use different words for this. What you're talking about is Western liberal, I would say, 304ism that is promoted it on the media is still transferable to other countries. One case in point would be Sex in the City. Sex in the City, I would say, is one of the most dangerous and disastrous shows that ever aired. And it was, I can't believe just how bad it was. And it had a profound effect on many women abroad. The other one, which is equally as bad, is Kim Kardashian. She has had a very bad effect on women abroad. I cannot emphasize this enough. So, in those cases, what you're really asking is, how do you deal with that in your relationships? Well, you don't, again, if you want to have children, you have to hope for the best that effect, that influence doesn't come in, or else you can't make kids effectively. Or you're just going to have to live together, or you have to do some sort of joint custody. It's just not effective when it comes to marriage, just straight out. So again, I would say, I'm thinking like Colombia right here, Peru, Panama, in those kind of situations. What you're really doing is depending on her family infrastructure or her family situation in order to limit that kind of influence inside of your marriage, because you really are powerless, to be honest. But the same way, I mean, she could turn around and say, well, you have Western influence too, right? You have, this site, that site. How do I know that you're just going to go off and go get an 18-year-old after I gave birth to 3 kids? Like, why should I marry you? Why should I have your kids? So she also has the risk. That's why I say you have to hope for the best inside your marriage. That's the best you can do. Now, for you guys in here who, just basically say, look, the risk isn't worth the squeeze. I see what's going on out there. I'm totally 100% not going to take that risk right now. You can do what I did. I did monk mode 10 years. Serious. I didn't talk to women 10 years. And it was one of the best things I ever did. So it's like one of the best decisions that I ever made. So until you're ready to go back into the market and deal with risk, you probably shouldn't be dating. You shouldn't be doing anything with women because they're going to be too dangerous for you.
Okay. Interesting there. So we know that Western culture is going to spread, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. And we have to prepare for it, or we have to take a suggestion over there, right? Okay. Interesting there, Theo. So next point here, right, is that women end most marriages. Okay. If they end
in the West, outside the West, no. If a marriage ends, it's usually because of the man. But in the West, yeah, it's because of women.
But okay, so we know Western culture is going to spread across the world, right? We're seeing some foreign chicks adopt the toxic, low IQ lifestyle of American chicks and UK chicks, right? And that would include ending marriages based on BS, based on not enough emotional support, or they can do better, or blah blah blah, or hey girl, why are you sending for a guy that's any less than you?
Remember, those countries don't have no fault divorce, so you have to look at the marriage laws. If you are unable to have no fault divorce, like Colombia, there is no fault divorce. So she tries to divorce you, you can sue her. You have rights. Yeah. So you're thinking about this all from the point of view of Western world. It's not the way it works. If she tries to do this to you in Japan, for example, it won't work. Like, what the government will just say is like, okay, well, we have a 5-year process to get divorced. Here's a piece of paper. You can just do it right now instead. So there's no legal that happened. And then she just makes she makes a decision, she gets none of your assets. So this is like a girlfriend leaving. That's it. So you have to remember that the Western rules are not in effect legally. So even if she sees Sex in the City in Brazil or Colombia, she has to deal with those countries' legal systems. It's not the American or UK legal system she's dealing with.
Okay. So now cheating, right? Okay. It's growing amongst women, not only in the West field, right, but even abroad too. We know over the past several months, Japan has been put on the spotlight for cheating culture, and I was there recently, right? I can definitely say that there is a strong cheating culture in Japan. I don't know what's happened there, but cheating is prevalent in Japan. Okay, so knowing that, right, why get married when woman can easily cheat, whether she's in the office field or whether she's a housewife? Because if she's a housewife, you may be in the office, right? You may be hybrid, right? She might be bringing dudes over and you have no idea. Or she's in the office, right? Going out for drinks with her boss, getting drunk with her colleagues. Whatever happens. She might smash a coworker or boss. You never know. Okay, cheating is growing field. It is growing. So why get married if you know that women are not faithful as they were in the 1950s, 1940s? And I think we have to apply marriage right to modern times. We have to apply marriage to modern times. Women can work now. There's a lot more leeway for women now. So this isn't the 50s or 60s, brother, right? This is 2024, okay? And women are out there cheating, bro. And they are, bro. Let's keep it real. Whether she's working, whether she's at home, feel.
So women in the West, men and women cheat on the same level. Outside the West, men cheat more than women. Even in Japan, it would be the men who are the ones doing it, not the women. So the question should be on the woman: why is she going to get married to you? Because if there is going to be a cheater, more likely than not, it's going to be you who's going to do it, not her. So that's a question for her. And she has to make that decision herself. And so basically, there's nothing you can do to protect yourself 100% against cheating in terms of an emotional response. You can protect your assets, sure. But of course, I mean, if she's going to cheat, she's going to cheat. So you have to always have a defense in position, just in case that happens. Anywhere in the world you get married. If it's too much, then monk mode. Do monk mode for a while. Don't even date.
Okay. So you mentioned how, right, previously where you want to hide assets, right, from your woman, whether she's foreign or not foreign, right? So we are here gonna hide our house, our whole apartment that we have in the UK or in America, or house from her ever knowing. Do you think that that's even possible? Do you think that's even conducive? Do you think that's even healthy? Know that your own wife doesn't know that you have a property in the UK and America. What if she finds out, like, hey, you have a property in your home and you didn't tell me? That can cause problems there for you, right? So the fact that we have to actually hide things.
How would she find out? That's like saying you have a database in Azure and then you have a database in AWS, and suddenly both databases are connecting to each other and sharing tables. Like, how the hell is that going on? The only way that can be known is if you tell her. That's it. That's the only way it can happen. So you don't tell her. It's like my wife never knew what my high school was. She didn't know where I went to elementary school. So I didn't tell her. She didn't know my bank account in America. I had one, but she didn't know what it was. Right? So why would that information be available to her?
Money's
that's the
coming out of your
question I have
account.
too. What
So
do you,
money's
how
coming
does
out of
she
your
have
account, right?
how does she have
And then,
access to your account in the UK? That's like saying I have access to your account in the UK. I don't know where you bank at. Why would I know that?
but when you're
So
married,
you
Theo, right, you're going to share a lot of information, right? You're going to share your account details. You're
no
going to share.
that there's no there's stuff you don't tell her. No man, no you got no start bro.
But Theo,
No,
is she
bro,
expected to give
you
her
do not,
Theo?
you
But
tell that
is
information
she?
to a lawyer in case you die. The lawyer knows, your wife does not know.
But are you expected to know your wife's details about her property, her account, etc.,
No,
etc.?
no, that stuff for the most part is irrelevant to you. Why do you even care? No, you don't care about that. No, man, no. So in particular for you, your everything you got in the UK, you don't sell anything about it to her. You make sure that your family doesn't say anything about it to her. There's no reason for her to know whatsoever. None. You keep that off to the side. Even I would have to send money back to America to pay certain bills. She didn't even know I was sending money back to America. No, man. She had no clue about that. So there's a lot of things like that you do not tell. You give her certain information, but you protect yourself at all times.
Damn. Okay. So let's go further there, right? So,
Sure.
Phil, would you want to know your wife's phone password, and would you like say once a week, right? You want her to show her the contents of her phone to you, etc., etc. Is that something that you would do in a marriage, Phil, or you just wouldn't care that what's on her phone, who she's speaking
I would
to?
never.
Can you?
I would never care, to be honest. I never checked my Japanese wife's phone. I didn't care about it. As far as I was concerned, if I needed to check her phone or her email, then it's time to get rid of her.
Damn.
Just straight out. So there's no reason to be checking like that. I'm pretty strict about it, so I wouldn't worry about it. And if she wants to see yours, okay, go ahead. I personally don't care. Like if you even if like we're at the conclave, just to be honest. So if we were at the conclave together, like black Muslims in there, he's been at the conclave before, and you said you wanted to see my phone, I'd be like, go ahead, because there's literally nothing on there. Anything that is private or discreet, I keep off my phone. So I don't have a problem. That's it. Go ahead and look at it. There's nothing on there that could hurt me.
Okay, so this is interesting. Yeah. So let's say, right, I lost my train of thought there. Okay, what was I going to say? Oh man, okay, it'll come to me. This is interesting. Okay, so all right, okay, Theo, right? So, but Theo, what do you in a marriage, right? What do you share how you make money, right, to each other? Because I'm sure if you have multiple businesses, I'm sure that you have to, share, how you're making money, right? So if you have 5 sources of income, she got to know. And if she finds out, that might put him in trouble. Like, hey, you make this money as well, like family, you have kids as well.
No. This is one place where I definitely disagree. Okay, one guy told me this before I got married, and I wish I had paid attention to this. And I did it differently, and that totally screwed my marriage up. Okay. Women like consistency. So if you're making let's say you're making $8,000 a month, she needs to see that you're always making $8,000 a month. Don't tell her that you're making like 12,000 or like 20,000. Only tell her that you're making 8, because If you have a month where you make like 12,000 and then you do 20 and then you go back down to 8, she's going to look at that as a negative $12,000. And then she's going to say, where is that 12,000? Why aren't you performing at that level? So why aren't you doing $20,000 every single month? And that, I had that happen to me. That is crap. That is ridiculous. So what you do is you have your bank account. Okay, like I'd have like bank account 1. Even in Japan, I had this. I had 3 bank accounts in Japan. So you have bank account 1 and then your bank account 2. You have your main dependable salary in bank account 1, and then you just let her know, yeah, $8,000 a month. That's what I'm making. Everything else that's chaotic, that's variable, you put into the other bank accounts, and you know what the real situation is. But you only tell her that you're making $8,000 a month, and let her feel secure based upon that. You do that, smart move. If you don't, oh man, it's bad. And if you're dating, you don't need to tell her how much you're making. Just give her a rough estimate. That's it.
When you say rough estimates, like a range or like a rough figure?
Yeah, just give her like, just say like, for example, I make enough money to pay my rent, to pay my bills, and to pay our dates. That's it. That's all she needs to know.
Okay. So last point here, right, is, so why get married, right, when you can do a spiritual marriage? Where, why do you want to get the government in your business? Let's keep it real. So if you're a religious person, right, just tell your future wife, hey, our word is bond, right? Or even if you're not religious, right, just say, we're married, we're gonna be together, and we ain't gonna send no paperwork. And that's a lot more easier, right? And again, the government in your business and worrying about losing assets, just do a spiritual marriage. And I think that needs to be more common. Just your word is bond, right?
Okay. So no. If you're abroad, can I remember Colombia? You're living together 2 years. The government says that's a what is that? That's a common law marriage. Yeah. So you're not getting away with that in Colombia and other countries as well. So I'm sure guys in the chat can talk about common law marriage and which countries have that. Because I don't know what the total list is right now. Again, if she gives birth, that's risky for her. So in this situation, marriage is there to protect her. And that is very legit and for what she's dealing with. That totally makes sense. Now, if you need a visa, like, spirituality isn't a qualification for a spousal visa. You have to have a legal marriage. And if you just have your word like that, any one of you can leave at any time. There's your word or your not word. It's the same thing. It has no value. If your word is based upon a legal document, yeah, it's something. Now, in the West, if I were in the if I just want to say, I'll say, in the West, if I had a relationship in the West, somehow, I don't know, a meteor hit my head and I changed my thinking. Voodoo, a witch put a spell on me, and somehow I got married in the West. I don't know. Sorry, I had a relationship in the West. I didn't get married in the West. I have a relationship in the West. I would not get married to her. I would straight out tell her, look, in the West, this is a situation. Marriage is too risky for me. We can live together, but I cannot marry you. But I would only do that in a state without common law marriage. Because I'm here in Texas. We have common law marriage after a certain point. I don't know how long it is, but it's here. So you have to be careful about that.
Awesome. Those are all my points there in regards to marriage. Let me read the super chats. Shout out to Black Muslim for the support. You can't vet a woman without clear goals. Do you even know what you want in a woman? Yes, indeed. What's your goals? and vet very well. I definitely agree there, bro. Shout out to Bubba Guppy for the support. We should assume a woman will initiate divorce. I agree there, bro. So I think me and Phil did a stream last year in terms of how to hide your assets, right? How to, use Rabbi Trust and all that stuff. I think we should all do that because at this point in time, assume divorce, whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years from now, and that's just real life. That's just how life is, man.
Yeah.
Life isn't some sort of Disney fairy tale movie. It's not Snow White. It's not goddamn, Lion King. It's real life up in this mofo. Assume divorce. Assume she may be kawaii, cute, whatever, feminine, submissive, blah, blah, blah. Assume that she'll divorce you sometime in the future and prepare for it, bro. Because it breaks my heart when I see fathers fight over their kids or kids turn against their fathers, etc., etc. It breaks my heart. So always prepare for things like that. Have money in your pocket. Have assets to keep yourself afloat. Because it's a crazy world out here, brothers, man. Woman will put you on the street. The government will put you on the street for being a man. F that. That ain't gonna be me, bro. That ain't gonna be us. Protect ourselves, right? Ain't that right, Theo?
You have to protect yourself at all. But the issue in the West, you cannot protect yourself against Order 66. Kevin Samuels put this perfectly. Every woman in the West has Order 66 in her head. The question is, does she execute or does she obey the execution? So you are liable at any time. So again, if you're in Star Wars and you know your clones around you have Order 66, are you going to go into battle with them or are you going to get the heck out of there? I'm out of there. There's no way. I got to say this again. Every woman in the West has Order 66 in her head. Every single one of them. You cannot run away from it. So the only question is she going to execute? Every woman has the option to execute according to the laws here. And she is going to be facilitated in doing so. And she will chase you down if she decides to do this. This is why I say in the West, you cannot get married. It's too dangerous. You just can't do it. There's people who get married in the West. I'm like, oh yeah, you capping, man. And there's a certain level of risk I'll accept. Like I'll go to Brazil and get married there. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. Or maybe I go to Germany and get married to a beautiful German woman and bring her to Brazil or something like that. I don't know. But I would do that. Yeah, sure. But because I know what the legal environments are. I know how to protect myself. If she decides to do an Order 66, I'm okay. I can defend myself. But basically in America, you are a Jedi who suddenly you cannot use the Force and your lightsaber doesn't work anymore. And Order 66 is enabled and she's got Palpatine supporting her. Yeah, you're not gonna make it, bro.
Shout out to Mr. D-Rad Dog OD. I think we all need to be vigilant because feminism has spread worldwide. I agree. And I'll be with you. I was in Japan. I saw feminism in Japan. I'll be with you. I saw it in Japan. And that just proved to me like no one is safe, man. I saw it's not everywhere. It's not as bad as it is in the West, but I saw hints of it here and there. When women are not putting out kids, when women are wanting to be alone, right? When women are cheating, that is a result of feminism. Okay, so just protect yourself, man, right? And be ruthless out there. You know what you want? Dump a chick if she's not on your plan, bro. Okay, I think it's important to pay, but Japanese women are still better than Western chicks by far. Right. I think it's important to pay for private investigations and medical checkups before you marry any woman in this era. I definitely agree, bro. I definitely agree. And that's why I'm telling brothers to invest in crypto, invest in stocks, invest in assets, because you're able to afford these investigations or these checkups or extra services because you have the funds to do so. Okay. While you're in the West, you need to, bro.
Yeah. Let me give an example. So like everybody knows I'm dating a Ukrainian. Right? I hired an ex-KGB agent to go look at her medical history. I also hired an ex-KGB agent to go look to see whether or not she was with someone while I wasn't with her. And both cases, she's like, no baby deletions, and no, she's not married to anybody. She doesn't have anybody there. Like, her address is legit. No, she's like, nobody is she's not dating anyone. Nothing's going on. Right? So that works. I did this because I was talking to another woman back in the day, and I was in Ukraine with her, and I thought something was weird. And so when I went back to America, I hired that KGB agent to go look to see what's going on, and he was like, "Oh no, you've got the wrong one." Like, yeah, she's definitely with another guy. Here's the information. Here you go. So yeah, that's again smart. I don't play around. I've got money. I'll pay for services.
There you go, man. You know, and we want to reach for a stage where we can actually be doing that, because life ain't no game, bro. Life isn't some sort of anime series. Life isn't Dragon Ball Z. Life isn't, this is real life, bro. All right, this is real life, mofos. Okay, so this is why you're in the West, you need to be investing in assets that when you go abroad, you're backed up. Okay, I can withdraw funds here. I got this in place. I got that in place. Okay, because we have to, start prioritizing long-term thinking and long-term goals. Okay, so great stream so far. Before we start reacting to some clips, just want to speak about getting yourself out there. Okay, we're going to be in 2025 in 5 weeks time or 6 weeks time. Okay, and I want to say, right, take a risk, because every year goes past when you're still in the West, when you're doing the same thing. Okay, you're going to get older. You're going to keep doing the same thing, right? 2025, take risk. Drop what you're doing in the West and just go for it. Drop what you're doing in the West and just go abroad. Get out of here, man. Because it's getting worse. I was just in Japan at a time of my life in Japan, man. Okay? Remember, you only have one life, man. You may have a 100K salary job, right, in the West, and that's great. But are you happy? How's your dating life? How's your quality of life? Are you satisfied? Are you fulfilled? Most of y'all ain't, bro. Most of y'all ain't. So in 2025, right, and now there'll be a stream before we end the year. Chase happiness, because when I was in Japan, I felt happy. Back in the UK now, I'm super unhappy. Okay, and just trust me, Japan is all coming very soon. Clips, streams, videos, etc., etc. I feel no more happier in Japan, and it really put life for me in perspective. I need to chase happiness and what makes me happy. I need to chase what makes me happy. So in 2025, just do it, bro. Quit your job, quit what you're doing in the West, and just go abroad. Ain't that right, Phil? Just do it.
I thought those Manchester Keishas made you happy, IP. I thought you were all happy with them. I thought aren't they like, they're all cultured and their end count's like 1 or 0, right? They're all raised to have marriage, and their hair is natural, and yeah, they're all just waiting to make babies, right? I thought that was true with Manchester girls, right? I mean, I'm wrong. I didn't know that.
You're big wrong, bro. You wrong for that, man. It's hell, man.
No, I know. I always told you, coming back is by far worse. I remember coming back from London when I was in Tokyo. I would come back to Tokyo. Sorry, I would come back to Tokyo from London, and I was so happy to be back in Tokyo, to be honest. And then when I left Japan and I went to like London or New York or like Miami, stuff like that, I always thought that they were like kind of developing countries, backward societies compared to Japan. So I know what you're feeling, bro. I feel your pain. I'm there right there with you. That's why, again, I've been telling my students, I'm leaving America by April 30th next year. I'm out. This is it. So I'm not telling you guys what country I'm going to, but I at the bare minimum, I'm actually going to a country and I'm getting out of the States.
Okay, so Phil, I'm not going to ask you what countries, right? But I'm going to ask you how you're gonna do your career. So is that working a US job and in dollars, or is that earning having a job in that country and earning their currency?
I still work. I mean, I work remote now. I do the same thing. I just be in another country still working. That's all.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. But I'm going to make, as some of you guys know, I'm going to make a gym abroad. So everything right now is planning for that gym.
Awesome. All right, so let's react to some clips from this week, okay, and some news as well. So let me just share my video file, and let's share this over here, okay? So we have a clip here of woman going to Afrotech, right? And let me bring it up here, okay? Let me see. So we have a clip here of woman going to Afrotech to find, a man. And Afrotech is not a place where you go for dating. And I'm just shocked to hear that. But let's see what's happening in this clip.
I'm recording this during Afrotech weekend. And if you're not aware, Afrotech is this big conference put on by...
If you have not watched that video, please go back and watch that video. I think that she's really onto something. I think right now, social media, relationship gurus are telling us to go to conferences that we do not identify. Like, you do not identify, you have no interest to go find a man.
That's crazy, Phil. That's crazy. So imagine you being a brother, right? You're in IT, you got your certs, right? And you're going to these conferences to network with other brothers, share information, expand your network. Hey, bro, if there's a job in your company, remember me. And that's what these conferences are for, right? Okay. But now they're being invaded by Keishas, okay, Sharkeishas, right? Who are looking for a man. So essentially, Phil, right? They're looking for a nerdy black tech bro. And my question is, right, okay, to these Keishas, right? When you were at university, when you were on university campuses, right, okay, when you were getting ran through every weekend, right, in your college dorm, right, okay, you were doing that instead of going for the black nerd in computer science, okay, who wore glasses and he was studying every single weekend in the library. Why didn't you go after him back then? You know, you see what I'm saying, Phil, right? So now these women are seeing the errors in their ways. They're seeing these black tech bros in Google, in whatever tech companies. They're in IT, they're passport bros, they know Python, right? Join my Python course coming next year. And they know cloud, join Phil's cloud course next year too. And now they're living good lives, right? And now these women want them now, Phil. Phil, what's your thoughts on women actually going to conferences, right, to find the Afro tech bro? This is insane, bro.
Okay, first off, for Afrotech, the ratio of women to men is 2-to-1. So women are the majority. And Afrotech, as far as I'm concerned, this is my own humble opinion. Afrotech is about promoting women in tech, not about promoting men in tech. So I don't understand why the men are going there. As you know, the Black Manosphere Conclave, it's men only. We're promoting men straight out. There are no women there, right? Because we're about business. We're getting things done. As we're Afrotech, not necessarily. So, I just want to say, a lot of that time, I've heard this more than once. Afrotech is about promoting getting that relationship with a guy, and I've seen other women talking about how they're a bit thirsty and they're looking for that guy. Brothers, you guys who are watching, why you would choose these women after they get ran through, I have no idea. You have value. You are the prize. Become a passport bro. Be like Black Muslim. Go to another country. Get your wife there. Marry your beautiful wife there. Stay there and make a family. And you will be treated in a way that I can't describe. Again, I talk to Black Muslim every once in a while because we text each other. the way he's getting treated in marriage right now, it's like a wasteland here compared to what he gets. I can't believe how well he's treated. I never get treated that way. I mean, my dogs get treated that way. I treat them well, but nobody treats me well. You will never be treated well in America or in the West, period. So what you need to do is get that money, take IP's Python course, take my AWS, my cloud course, go abroad, get your wife there. These women, they're just at Afrotech, they're hoping on a prayer. But as far as I'm concerned, they're not about tech. They're about networking or something else. We're about tech. We're about getting things done.
Facts, absolute facts. Let's carry on here.
You being in the same city, being at a bar, that's different than you actually buying a ticket to a conference that you don't identify with to strategically try to find a man.
Sophia, she's mentioned that women who are not even in tech, right, who have no interest in tech, they have no interest in tech, right, are going to these tech conferences that are for Black people to find a brother. Now, to me, right, that's reaching low IQ, lame status, right? And it just shows you just how, it just shows you, Theo, right, just how garbage America is, the West is when it comes to dating. Okay, we're not there, right? So again, if I'm at a tech conference and a Keisha comes up to me, hey IP, I like your shirt. What's your number, IP? I'm gonna get the hell out of my face, man. What's this? What's this? No, right? No, and as Black men, right, in tech, right, you're gonna see more women like this. They want a tech bro now because you've worked hard your whole life, right, to get to where you are. And these women have been ran through. They're in thugs, right? They're in Tyrone, they're in Pookie. I've seen what these women get to in college campuses. And that's why I personally, right, don't like being a woman who have lived on campuses, right? I normally ask a question off rip. Have you lived on college campuses? Every woman that's been that's lived on the college campuses has been ran through. I don't care what anyone says. I tend to avoid women like that. Go to university from your parents' house. Okay, that's what I look for. Okay, but that's for a separate discussion. Okay, so they spent the whole life in that field. Now they're in the late 20s, early 30s. They want a tech bro. No. We ain't flying for that.
That's a bit weird. Y'all don't think that's weird? I think we should go back to putting out there what we want, figuring out what we want, being fulfilled ourselves, and genuinely making connections. Everybody I know that's in a relationship was not looking for one, and they genuinely found their partner. Let me know, do you agree or disagree?
Facts. Sophia, I think we've reached, a lot of women are desperate now. Can we agree with that? Can we agree on that, Phil, right? A lot of women have reached desperation stage when it comes to dating in the West right now. Okay, is that a fair point, Phil? To the point where you're so desperate, you're not even tech. You may be an accountant, you may be a lawyer, and you're going to tech conferences to find a Black guy. What's your full step, Phil, in terms of desperate acts by women?
I don't know. I'm not keeping a pulse there, so I really don't. I don't care. I don't know. So I'm not really thinking about that, honestly.
Okay, awesome, Phil. Phil, would you say, Phil, you're on an AWS conference, right? And a woman came up to Keisha and says, hey, Phil, I like your shirt. I like what you're doing. We want to go for dinner next week, in Red Lobster, etc., etc. Would you take that offer, Phil? And she's a dime Keisha.
I would just keep on walking. I wouldn't even stop for her to talk to me. No, there'd be no communication. No, man, there's no way. That's just not gonna happen. Yeah. So she can do what she wants. I don't care. I'm gonna keep on walking.
So I want to make it very clear, right? Okay, when you're a Black man in tech, right, you're basically a superhero. because at this current point in time, right, there isn't even a lot of black men in tech. A lot of black men are not even thinking about tech. They're doing other jobs, and tech is the future. Okay, when a woman hears you're in tech, you do some sort of tech and you're black, you're put into a special category. Okay, your options open up a lot more. Okay, when you go abroad and you say you're in tech, that foreign chick, she might just get to her knees and keeping it PG. Okay, so I'm saying, right, okay, even though you've worked hard your whole life, you got your certs, you're finally in tech, okay, don't settle. Don't date these Western chicks. It's not worth it. Okay.
Are you noticing this in your class?
Yes,
I'm noticing it. Yeah, I'm noticing there's a certain group of guys who are thinking that they can get like money, they can get an increase in money and then stay with Keisha. And these guys usually, like, they're making about $40,000 a year, and then they get a job in tech and they're making like $90,000 a year. And during the entire time they were with Keisha, they were living with Keisha. So now they think they have enough money to stay with Keisha. And I always look at these people and I'm like, so you're basically a Jedi and you got a power up, but you think that the clones don't have Order 66 in them.
Damn.
You're still going to end up. You know what's going to happen to you. Right? And I look at them like they're nuts. So Coach Greg Adams, shout out to him, he calls this the hope strategy. This is called copium. And there's a lot of guys who do this, and I tried to weed them out and not have them in the class in the first place. But they're guys who slip through, and they think that they're going to do this. The guys who are my most successful in the class, they're not dating Keisha at all, and they put all their time and effort into being successful in the class, and then they usually become passport bros, or bare minimum, they don't date at all. But a lot of the guys become passport bros. They go abroad and they have a great time. So you guys who are taking the class thinking you're going to tech and then you're going to be able to win Keisha's heart, good luck with that. When Palpatine gives Order 66, I don't know who you are and I'm not helping you out.
Facts, man. Facts. Get your passports, man, and don't date these women at Afrotech. Okay, we're there to a network. That's all we got to do. Okay, fantastic, awesome. Okie dokie. So let's react to the next clip from this week. Okay, so present video file. Let's react to this brother over here. Okay, let's go.
You are invisible in America. I spent 10 hours walking around the streets of New York City trying to talk to people, and I only got 5 people to talk to me. Most of the people
most black men are invisible in America. Most men are invisible, but particularly black men, right? And I think this is something that I spoke about on my channel before, feeling invisible in the West. I have felt invisible in the UK for the past 8 years. Okay, like you're nothing, like you don't exist. And a lot of men are now experiencing that more in the West. Okay, and it's just how it is right now, unfortunately. Invisible.
talked to didn't even acknowledge my presence. Like, I don't care what I said. If I said hello, how are you, how you doing, what's up, people would just look right through me. And
wow, Phil, is that the scene in America right now? The social aspects, people just not communicating with each other, people looking right through you as if you're some sort of ghost. Let me know the deal there in America, Theo.
Yeah, that's true. But again, that's like, Keisha talking to me at the AWS conference. I would look right through her too. I just keep on going. That's why it's cold, but that's the way it would be. It's never this way abroad. It just outside the West. No, man, this does not happen. So this gentleman definitely has a point.
About at I think like the 9-hour mark, like I had this feeling of dread, a feeling of depression just washed over me. And I'm just like, damn, like, is it really this hard? This is what life's supposed to be?
Yes, come to the UK, bruv. Like, the social scene here, the way people can speak to each other, communicate, is non-existent. Okay, and that's how most Western countries are now. You know, I don't know what's happened. I think it's combination of feminism, combination of liberal way of thinking, etc., etc. And you know, we're seeing the results of that permeate throughout society in the West.
And then I remember, like, I don't have to be here. Like, I can just go back to like Kenya or go to like Thailand. But for the people who
you see how passport bros is the solution to most problems here. You know, give thanks to yourself, right? To have a passport. Because guess what? Not everyone has a passport. Not everyone can get a passport. So if you have a passport right in 2024, you are very privileged. Having a passport is equivalent to owning 50 ounces of gold. And I'm being serious here, because you have a way out the matrix. In the right field, you have the way out the matrix. You're privileged.
Yes. Your passport is the most valuable document that you have, and all of you guys should be definitely using it 100%. Not using your passport puts you in a very bad position. So guys, go get your passport and then make, like what Andre from Andre and Andrea Love Crossing Borders stated, make a date when you're going to leave and then stick to it. My deadline is 2025, April 30th. So use your passport, get out of the country, be like this guy.
Facts.
haven't traveled and didn't have that experience of the other side of life, how life should be, like when you don't have to like put in massive amounts of effort to have human interaction. I literally spent 10 hours wandering around the streets of New York just to get 5 people to talk to me.
Only 5 people in 10 hours. Oh my goodness, that's shocking, bruv. That's shocking. That is so sad. When I was in Germany, right? It was easy for me to speak to people in Munich, easily.
Yeah.
Cold approaching a woman, going to events, going to Oktoberfest, right? You saw my clip that I posted on the channel. So easy. I'm telling you, America and the UK, right? Something isn't right. And it's not going to get any better any forward in the future. Something isn't right in the software. So that's why Theo said, get a date and stick to it. Some of y'all, right, might be earning 100K a year. That's great. But are you happy? Because if you're going around for 10 hours, right, you get no social interaction. At this point in time, the money doesn't even matter, bro. The money don't matter. Remember, you only have one life and you're only young once. Okay? So stop suffering, earning great money in America. Go abroad, earn good money abroad, but things are cheaper, and you have a better social life. A much better social life. Remember, we are human beings. We are social creatures. We're here to procreate. We're here to, socialize. Okay, we can't be locked in, right? Even though you're making great money, chase your happiness, bro. Please.
Somebody say, like, one girl tried to fight me in Times Square. Actually, she tried to turn up, but like that's a whole nother story.
Almost going to a fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Can you imagine a Japanese woman trying to get in a fight with you in Japan?
Impossible.
Like
impossible.
Yeah, it just would never happen. There's no reason to do it. So again, guys, why are you staying around in this kind of environment? There's no reason for it.
Facts. Let's go.
But who's gonna put up with this amount of rejection just to get 5 people to talk to you? And then out of the 5 people that I talked to, I tried to hang out with one and they ghosted me. So like could you imagine this? Like, this is not normal. And I'm just really just thinking about this. Like, if I was in Kenya right now, it would be super easy just to go outside and find somebody to talk to. It would be
Facts, absolute facts, man. Socially abroad, these countries are just perfect, man. Even though Japan is an introverted society, right? There's a lot of people there that are extroverts too, and you can speak to people. People want to speak to foreigners. Even our foreigners there as well. There's so many activities to do in Tokyo. You can meet people, compared to the UK, where it's a flipping dystopia.
super easy to go socialize. But here I'm putting massive amounts of effort to go talk to people, and it's resulting in nothing. And like, I really feel like I'm invisible. Like, when I was walking to the street saying hello to people, say hi to people, like, they look through your soul. Like, they just looked. I could have just been a ghost. Call
This brother gets it, man. He gets it. Like, you say good morning to someone, good afternoon. They look at you like, what the? Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speak on that, Theo.
No, that's entirely correct. They're like, why are you doing this? Like, what's going on? But when you are abroad and you want to talk with someone, they're like more than happy to talk with you, and it's really great, and everything is good. There's not an issue, and that's one of the reasons why I'm leaving the country. It's like earlier, I was going to leave 2026 September, and I'm going to be leaving next year in April. And one of that is to reconnect with people, because again, I'm 51 years old, and we don't have what's called the third place. We don't have the third place here in America, and that is a really big problem. Basically, feminists have destroyed any place where we can properly talk with other people without worry. Somebody could be videoing us and saying we're doing something. We can be Me Too'd. We can do anything, and that's just for saying hi to somebody in a pizzeria, right? So we can't do it. We can't talk. I mean, that's it. Whereas, when I'm in Brazil, yep, Japan, it's no big deal. Man, it's just wonderful. So, guys, get your passport and leave.
Facts.
me Casper. And then you have no social life. Like, of course I have some friends here already, but like they're always busy. And then like me doing a social experiment, trying to actually go around the city and actually like, okay, what do people do? What do you do? How is your social life? And everybody had the same story. Oh, I just stay in the house. Yeah, I go on social media sometimes, watch Netflix. So I'm like, what do you do when you want to go like socialize and all that? No, I don't go outside. No, I don't go outside. Like, I mean, but
facts. Facts. Netflix, Amazon Prime, staying in 24/7, and that's why people's social skills have fell off a clip. And I think there's a I think there's an agenda here for these corporations to keep on pushing out these TV shows. I was unaware, right, as to how these the Netflixes and the Amazon Primes, right, will drop a whole series, right, in one day, 20 episodes. Why do that all in one day? So that keeps you locked in the house, right, for the whole day watching a TV show. I remember back in the day, it was once a week, right? A new episode will come out. Now it comes out all at once. So imagine getting new shows every day that drop all at once, right? You're on social media too. How are you going to interact with people, bro? How are you going to get out? There's more to life than watching TV shows all day on Netflix and on Amazon Prime or Hulu, whatever platform. Okay, and that's how and that's why the social aspects of the West is falling off a cliff. That's why dates is falling off a cliff. That's why women right can't even communicate properly anymore, bro. They've noticed that they look around, they start shaking, they look left and right. I'm like, yo, are you okay? Are you okay? Like, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye, woman. I'm talking to you, man. Can I have some eye contact here? It's weird, bro.
Yeah, you just can't. No, this is like, again, another reason why when Western women go abroad, they think they're going to be successful. I'm like, you don't even know how to behave over there. So, it's what you said about that now. Netflix, I don't even have Netflix. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but I don't have any of those services because it makes my life a lot easier. I'm getting better. Like, again, when I'm on your channel, I'm on like 2 or 3 hours at a time, right? But now
Yes.
with other people's channels, when I'm listening, I go out and take a walk, get my steps in, right? I'm active. So basically, guys, there's no social construct or contract where you can actually properly engage with people with women in the West. Guys, get your passport and leave. It's your best solution.
Facts. Get your passport and leave. Okay, get your passport and leave. Shout out to Mr. J Bones in the building. Thank you, J Bones, for the support. Much appreciated, bro.
Hey, J Bones. Hey, good to see you again. Haven't seen you for a while.
Good to see you, J Bones. Shout out to Abdullah for the support. This is what it's like if you're black in Europe, the Americas, and Asia. You are hated, or you get fake smiles until they walk away. Maybe in America, but in a lot of places in Europe, right? Apart from the UK, if you're black, you're basically God status. If I'm honest with you, Asia too, Theo, Abdullah. So I wouldn't say all of Europe and all of Asia is bad for brothers, especially me being traveled all around Europe as well. It just depends on when you go to. I would obviously avoid UK. I think UK is just America's little cousin. It's hell in the UK, bro. It's hell.
Cousin? UK cousin? You guys are the parents. What the heck? That's no, UK is. We're a colony of you. No, you guys are the parent culture. We speak English. You don't speak American. Come on, like you are the motherland. All right. So, but we do influence you guys probably more than you influence us. It's because we have California. California is our cultural influence.
Unfortunately, man. Shout out to Abdullah for the support. In Thailand, it's called the land of smiles because it smiles at you even when they're receiving at you. If you're white, it's much, much better. That's everywhere, bro. Again, and this is what I'm saying, right? Like, until black people get a first world country, the white man's gonna have the most options. Because actually, I was in Japan, right? And this would be part of my Japan stream, okay? And I was talking to a Japanese dude, right? And it was about white worshipping. And I told him, right, hey, I feel like some Asian chicks in the UK, in America, right, I let them know a flip. I told him that, hey, a lot of Asian women in where I'm from worship white dudes. Is that also here in Japan? He was like, yeah, some women in Japan worship white men. And I asked him, right, how do you feel about that? He's like, what can I do about it? It is what it is. And I asked him, right, how do Japanese people feel about black people? And I asked him, why do Japanese people worship white people or Asian people? He's like, we respect how developed the countries are. And that proves my point. It always boils down to image and power and how you represent yourself. Europe is a white man's land. We know that for a fact, okay? And it's developed. Holland, Germany, Sweden, Norway. America is also the white man's land. It's also developed. Africa, the black man's land. There's not one single first world African country. Think about that. And the whole world sees that, bro. And that affects us as black people when we go abroad. Let's keep it real. So that proves my point. So I know I'm right, Phil, because I've always said, right, until we get a first world African country, okay, we are going to not be as liked as the white man. I mean, we just keep it a buck.
No. Remember, did you see? Like, if you keep it a buck, I'll keep it Ichiman Tama. Look at J-pop. Look at J-pop. What's the cultural influence in J-pop? What's the cultural influence with J-pop?
America, but South Africa is the first world country, though, right?
What kind of American music?
Black American music.
Black music. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We control
But
that.
the South Koreans love
Hold on.
black people,
Same
feel?
thing for Korea. Same thing for Korea. So we culturally, I'm saying, if you go to Europe, it's rap. We got that going on. We have the cultural influence. They're not listening to Elvis Presley, right? They're listening to our music. So it's not a zero. When we're talking about sports, this is where we're winning as well. We're winning very well. So it's not a zero in there. We do have our influences. When we go to Japan, I knew Japanese guys who are totally into white women also. Okay? It's not just Japanese women who are into white guys. It's Japanese men who are also into white women. So it is what it is. But it had nothing to do with some sort of cultural thing. It had to do with their cups being so big, they wanted to touch those things, and they wanted to be swimming in the milk, basically. That's what it is. It had nothing to do with power at all. They wanted to have that, they wanted a bigger size. So if you, again, Middle East, there's other countries in the world. Some people like different cultures. It's normal. I'm not looking at this and saying like, oh, Africa has got to get its act together. We have a much better situation than we did 100 years ago. We're doing better. So what can I say?
We're doing better, feel, right? But I still believe we need that. We need better imagery. We need a first world African country that represents us. Because the Koreans got South Korea, they got Samsung, right? And that's exported all around the world. The Japanese got Japan, first world country. They got Sony, Nintendo, anime all around the world. Okay, the white man got Tesla, got Microsoft, got first world African, first world European countries all around the world. The black, BBC, all that stuff.
We have football. We have football. We have the NBA. We've got rap. We've got hip hop. Those are major cultural influences. Yeah, we do have those areas. I'm not worried about it. We have to make do with what we have and move forward from there. That's it. That's the best we can do.
But, okay, last point here, Phil, right? Okay, I think we ignore black nerds in this equation. The average black dude, right, ain't 6 foot, right, or 6'5", right? The average black dude, or let's say a lot of black dudes are not into sports. A lot of black dudes are not into hip hop, right? And I've heard that, black dudes who are nerdy black dudes who just like anime, who not into rap, not into sports, right, are kind of like, pigeonholed into NBA, NFL, blah, blah, blah. And that's not fair on them. Whereas the white man, so what I'm saying here, right, is that the white man has representation of different imagery for him. If he's a white dude and he's nerdy and wear glasses, right, Harry Potter can represent him. If he's a suave white dude with a, he can spit game, James Bond can be his representation. If he's a white dude, right, that 6'5", he's big, he's strong, he can play basketball, Luka Doncic can be his representation for you, okay? Whereas black man, who's representing nerdy black men in mainstream media? Who's representing anime watching black men in mainstream media? All our image is basketball, NFL, BBC, and that's it, bruv. And that's not fair on the brothers, man. That ain't fair. And so we are pigeonholed into that particular area, whereas the white man can pick and choose who he can actually go after. And there's women that like the Harry Potter look. There's women that like the James Bond look. There's women that like the Luka Doncic look. Whereas for the black man, all women have is basketball, NFL, and if you don't fit that black man, I don't want you. So if you're a skinny, short black dude, it's hell. It's hell for the brothers, bro. If you're 5'5" and you're skinny, oh man, it's over. Whereas if you're 5'5" and you're skinny and you're white, Harry Potter is your representation. And guess what, Theo? A lot of foreign chicks love Harry Potter, Theo. I'm keeping a buck, Theo, bruv. I'm keeping a stack, bruv. I'm white, bruv.
Well, if you're a 5'5" nerdy guy, then you should go to Asia. You get plenty of play there. You got plenty of women who want to date you. Also go to Brazil and Colombia. There's still plenty of women who want to date you there as well. Again, it's like you're thinking that if you're a 5'5" white guy, you can just say that you're Harry Potter and all the women's panties going to be dropping down. That's not what happens. No, it's basically if you're 5'5" and you're a white guy, you're pretty much ignored in the West, and you had better get your passport to go to Japan at least so you could go reproduce, because that's probably the only way you're going to get any kind of play. I would say, look, it's bad for white guys too, regardless of the kind of representation that they have. Now, when we talk about our representation that we have as Black men, our problem that we're having is that we are not able to control our image. Now, this is something Kevin Samuels talked about quite a lot. The image of Black men is controlled in the media, it's controlled by Black women or white liberals. It is hardly ever controlled by Black men, and in particular, not by conservative Black men. Because of this, we are at a disadvantage. I would definitely say that, because we're not able to control our narrative. So we have to go, like as we're doing now, we're making podcasts. We have to keep on doing this and keep on spreading the image of the message of who we are. And we have to improve ourselves. We need to be masculine. We need to be, what I was going to say, manly. Those are mentored. We need to practice mentorship and mastery of various skills. We need to have all of that going on and showing people this is who we are and being unapologetic about it. So I'd say, guys, level up your game. A lot of you guys do have a level game. Go make media. Go to YouTube. Go to Rumble. Go to other places and show people who you are. Go to Instagram. Show your life, because that's the only way the image of Black men is going to change. We have to do it. Nobody else is going to do it for us.
Facts. Thank you, Theo. Shout out to Royal Black for the support. Respect to Theo and IP. Thanks for all the knowledge you provide. Thank you, bro, for the support and the kind words. Much appreciated, bro. Shout out to Moy's Fit Ventures. Shout out to you, bro. I have my Security Plus, my PCIP, and I'm studying for the CISA. Any good certification? I work in IT security and compliance manager. How to get your link, Theo?
I don't do anything with CompTIA. So my students will well know I don't recognize CompTIA at all. I would say you need to start working on the fundamentals regarding systems. I don't see anything where you fundamentally understand a system. For example, Cisco programming, Linux, like Imperva, Windows system, that's where you need to start. And so I don't understand how you're doing security. I'm a CISSP. I had 3 years of experience first doing other things like Cisco certifications, checkpoint certifications, RSA certifications, Microsoft certifications. I got that all done before I got the CISSP. So that's why I think basically your certifications are hollow and your background is also hollow. You need to really focus on the fundamentals.
All right, thanks for the tips for the brother. Thank you, Theo. Let's react to this video over here. Okay.
Be talking about, but specifically, we're going to be talking about dating in your middle ages.
Listen up for brothers who are in the middle ages, for men in the middle ages. Let's see what the brother's saying over here.
Post 40, your 40s and 50s. I've just been seeing, not only in real life, but also on the internet, more and more people in that age group, which is my age group, just saying they're done. More and more people just saying, hey, I'm 47 and I don't think I'm ever going to date again. I'm 55 and I think I'm done. Just seeing a lot of people, maybe they came out of divorces a few years ago. They tried the dating thing, just couldn't find anybody, couldn't get anything, long lasting, anything real. And they're done. Or they're just people who, they've, excuse me, been out on the market for a while. and just tired of the dating scene. Just
Wow. So even now, we know that millennials, Gen Zs, they're going through it pretty harshly, right? Because we're at a point where feminism has reached its peak stage right now in 2024, okay? And Gen Z and millennials are going through it, particularly the men, when it comes to dating. Now we have dudes who are, over 40, right, also going through it too, which is crazy to hear as well. I would have thought dating was easier for that age group. Feel, why is that? What's happening, in that middle age stage where a lot of men are checking out, dating? I'm done with dating. Feel, what's happening there in your opinion? Feel?
Well, he has gynocentric thinking. He's in a Western bubble. That's why he's thinking this way. If he had used his passport and gone abroad, he'd recognize that he's actually young and he has a lot of options abroad. He could be dating, like, he's a decent looking man. He could be dating 23 and 24-year-olds in Japan, that's for sure. Same thing for Philippines, Thailand, Ukraine. They'd go for it as well. So he would definitely have options abroad. So it's like, why are you staying where you're at? That's my question to him.
So Theo, he's a 40-year-old man, Theo, right? He's 40, 45, I don't know, right? So do you think that a 40-year-old man from America is a king abroad, Theo? He can be pulling, he'd have a better dating life abroad. He can pull better women than in the West, okay? And it's all good. You think that's possible for a 40-year-old man, brother? 45, 40 in 2024?
I'm 51. I could pull 23-year-olds abroad. It's not hard.
Let's go.
It really isn't hard. I'll give you an example. I was at the gym 2 days ago, and I was doing various exercises. I was working with Panada machines, and I started talking to this one person, and she happened to be Japanese.
Ooh.
And I flipped straight into my Japanese mode. That's just boom, straight Japanese, no problem. I just started talking to her, and she gave me more than enough choosing signals in front of her boyfriend that she wanted to go on a date with me. And I'm overweight, man. I'm 51 years old, overweight. I'm getting my body back in shape, but I'm working on it. And I was just like, this is like fish. Literally, this is fish getting fish in a barrel. I was making her laugh, giggle, think in Japanese. I know how to do that. I know how to talk to the women. It's not hard at all. And I looked at the guy and I was like, I'm not taking this girl only because I'm civilized. That's it. So you go have your fun. Guys, it's that easy. So me, 51, dating a 23-year-old in Japan, not a problem. I can go do it. I speak the language fluently. You guys, if you guys think you can't, you have Western thinking in your head. You have Keisha in your head. So basically, when you go to the airplane and you go through immigration, you need to leave Keisha behind. Okay? You leave Keisha behind in your home country. You get on the airplane and you go. And there's no Keisha in your head. If you bring Keisha with you on the airplane, that's on you. Okay, guys? Leave that gynocentric crap behind. Go be a man in another country. Okay?
Was the boyfriend Japanese for that Japanese girl?
No.
He was a white dude?
Yeah, he was a white dude. There's not that many black guys here in Austin anyway, so if she's probably going to date someone, it's probably going to be a white dude anyway. I've got no problem with that. Yeah.
Phil,
I straight out looked at him. I was like, I can take your girl right now. I was like, I have no problems doing this either. But I was like, no, I'm not doing it because I'm civilized. That's it.
Separate discussion here, right? Just a quick one, right? Japanese women, right? I'm like, Phil, can we admit that, like, the cheating culture in Japan, right? I think it's starting to become more proven now, because how is she so friendly with you, brother, in front of her boyfriend? And to me,
I speak Japanese. He doesn't. I speak Japanese.
I get that feel, right? But she should be respectful to her boyfriend, right? And kind of like cut off, walk off. And that proves my point there, Theo, right? A lot of these Japanese girls, right, their eyes wander. I think the cheating culture is really as bad as they say is, Theo, right?
No, she
Jeez.
wasn't wandering. She had no idea that this 6 foot tall black guy actually spoke in fluent Japanese. How would that actually happen? So she wasn't looking at me at all when I was doing my sets. I thought she was Chinese actually in the beginning. I didn't know she was Japanese. We started talking. I figured out that she was Japanese. So this wasn't wandering at all. What it is this guy got lucky to get a Japanese girl. That's it. He didn't do anything to deserve her, and he only spoke in one language. That's why he was at a disadvantage. So learn the language. You don't have to worry about that crap. But he didn't do that, so, oh well, too bad for him. Remember, a Japanese girl in America has market power. She can do hypergamy against you because she has plenty of options. If you go abroad, you're the one who has power. So make sure you speak that language, so if you need to choose someone else, you can. That's the way the game works. So if you're abroad and you're worried about the girl cheating on you, something wrong with you. You need some therapy because you are in the market position. What do you mean? Hold on, Abdullah. Hold on. I gotta go against Abdullah. Abdullah, what do you mean they only go with white guys? I scored with plenty of Japanese, Filipina, and Thai girls. What the hell are you talking about, Abdullah? Go to a mosque and go repent. Okay, go to a mosque, go repent. Go change yourself because you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Okay, let's carry on here.
Over it are people who just have come to realize, and I think I might be heading down this path, which is why I want to do this video. But I think people who are just realizing that maybe once you hit a certain age, you're just like set in your ways. Especially if you haven't dated in a while. It's been almost a decade since I was in like a serious relationship. So like, I think I'm just very set in my ways. You know what I mean? Like, it would be very hard for someone at this age. I'm 45 now. It would be very hard for like someone to come into my life and like acclimate to like how I live my life. I know me, I kind of live a different lifestyle.
Do you feel, is that a problem there, being set in your ways? Because wouldn't you say that relationship, right? Relationship is, some of it is about compromise. You may have to change how you do things if you really want a woman, or you want to keep her, you want to get her. Whereas if you're too set in your ways, this, that. Now I get we should have criteria, right, or have rules. So for me, guy friends is a problem. I think for many men here, having too much guy friends or guy friends in general, that's a bit iffy there. You can let her know. But if there's other parts where you're too set in your ways, that can harm you in the dating scene. Is that a fair statement there, Theo?
Again, this is gynocentric thinking. You need to change your thinking. I'm 51 years old. You put a girl in a black miniskirt, I can become very flexible in my thinking immediately. All right? I got no problems with that because I don't have gynocentric thinking. I use my passport. I got no problems doing something. This guy has gynocentric thinking. He's in the bubble in the West. That's why he's thinking this way. You put him on an airplane, get him to Colombia, have him sit down with a cute little Colombiana, he'll probably change his thinking.
Now that makes it harder. But just in general, it's like, I don't know. I felt like when I was younger, I was willing to make that sacrifice. Like when you're in your 20s and your 30s, it's all about meeting somebody, finding love, a family for a lot of people. As I'm getting older, it just feels like, do I even want to make that sacrifice? Do I want to switch up being able to do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it? For what? I mean, don't get me wrong. Love is a beautiful thing. True love is an amazing thing. And I know that there are aspects of this life I'll never get to experience alone. But I think the older I get, the more at peace I am with that. There was a time when I was younger, I wasn't at peace with it. It's like, oh, you got to find somebody. You got to be with somebody. You need to be in love. Now that I'm in my mid 40s, I'm kind of like, do I?
Damn. Theo, damn. I think we can agree that he may need a passport.
Yep.
Because you give him a trip to Brazil, Colombia, Panama, Japan, whatever his preferences, I think he would change his whole way of thinking. Would you agree on that, Theo?
Yeah, he needs to get his passport as fast as he possibly can. I doubt he's going to do that, but he needs to do it and actually go abroad. But this kind of guy, until he does that, will stay exactly the way where he is. He's probably had some bad relationships and he's burnt out. I was like that too. I wish that I had been in Thailand when I turned 40 years old. I would have forgotten all about all the problems that I had before. I would have been, ooh boy, man, I would have been making some kids over there. So hopefully he'll recover and get back into it. Until then, oh well, it's good. It's gonna take a little time.
Do I want to give up the freedom to travel wherever I want, go wherever I want? Do I want to give that up? And I'm wondering if more and more people in this age group aren't coming to that realization. I'm wondering if more of us just are like, I'm good now, and I'd be curious for people who might be a generation above me, people in their 60s. Was this a thing 20 years ago for them, or is this a new phenomenon? Like, there's a lot of, I think there's a lot of things happening that are a byproduct of new technologies we have and just the way the world is changing. And I think sometimes it takes, 10.
Yep, go on.
No, it's not at all. What we're talking about is he doesn't understand he has options. That's it. And because he doesn't understand he has options, he's only looking at his local market. He feels limited. Whereas the women, they definitely are. They're online. They're showing themselves. They're expanding the market as much as they possibly can. So therefore, they have their DMs are being filled. Blah blah blah. Right. So that's his limitation right now. That's it. He needs to break out of his own thinking. It's basically, he's like one of my students who goes around saying he can't do anything when he really can. It's his thinking. He's his own worst enemy. Once he changes his thinking, he'll be just fine.
Awesome. Remain for his brother.
In 15 years to see the results. And I'm wondering if some of the things that happened in the 90s or early 2000s, we're seeing the byproduct of it now.
Yeah, I think obviously technology, dating apps, the way things are going, man. I mean, in terms of, even robots are being pushed in this equation right now. It is taking a toll, and I feel like we live in a world, right, where you can do a lot of things yourself. He mentioned how, hey, I can travel myself, I can do that myself. Why do I need a female companion? Phil, do you feel like, when you start dating a woman and it's serious, right, you lose your joy in life? I think a lot of people feel that way. Hey, I can do this about a woman, but if I start dating a chick, right, I can't travel as much now. I can't do that now. I can't do spontaneous things. Is that a fair way to see things, Phil?
I don't have that issue. I'm going to take her with me. I'm going to go lead her someplace else. We're going to have some fun. That's the way I think of it. So I'm not worried about it, to be honest. I'm fine. He has his issue. I respect that. He just needs to change his thinking. Basically, this is a man who needs the Black Manosphere. He'd do well. He needs some Obsidian, Donovan Sharp, Coach Greg Adams. He'll get out of it then.
We're rooting for you, bro. Facts for you, absolute facts. We're rooting for you, brother. Awesome. So let me read the super chats here. Shout out to Mr. Alan Sinclair. Thank you, Alan Sinclair, for the support. Much appreciated. Marriage has been outdated for a long time, especially now that women are astronomically less loyal than probably any time in history. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. That's why we have to protect ourselves, don't rush things, and hope for the best, man. Feels against spiritual marriages, which is unfortunate, but that may be the way
Because
Shout out
it's a
to
zero.
Abdullah.
It's a zero straight up. A spiritual measure. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna do my best for you. That's it. So it's not. Call it what it is. That's how I say it. Yeah. Go ahead and keep on going. Next one.
Shout out to Alan. Sorry, shout out to Abdullah for the support. Of course, he's white. They only get with whites. She will not leave him for you. She's putting her nice face on. Even if you're fit, she likes telling about yourself. That's it. I do agree. A lot of Asian women have white worship syndrome, and it's very sad, man. It's very sad.
So both of you don't speak Japanese fluently, and you're not spending your time in Japan. You're taking your Western thinking into Japanese women. That's your problem. I had no problem doing this. So basically, you're going off to the side. I can't get anybody. You're seeing me getting one woman after another. No problem at all. So I'm competitive. I know what I'm doing. You guys need to be studying your languages. You need to get your act together and actually be there. Then you won't have this problem. Basically, Abdullah, if you were in Japan, you'd be back in Narita within 1 month talking about how you couldn't get no play. Whereas I'd be in Shibuya dating these amazing women, having great time, then go to Yokohama Station and going crazy out there and be unstoppable dating. Why? Because I have a different thinking than you guys do, and I have the skill set to go along with it. Go study the language. Stop being a wuss.
in America, okay.
I do that
in America.
Oh, if you're in a,
but I think you're saying like in America, women might worship dudes in America. I mean, we can admit that.
Why are you even thinking about that in America? I could date Asian women here. It's not a hard problem, especially Japanese. I don't have an issue with it. You guys need to go to Japan and stay there for a while. Oh my goodness. Really? More moody Schneider, eh? More yada-chan. Go abroad, you'll be fine.
What does that mean, please?
Moody Schneider, don't do the impossible. Stop being in a rut where you're only, just shooting yourself in the foot. That's what it means.
I do agree. Going abroad is the key here. But I think I mentioned how, in my personal experience, speaking UK wise, Asian women in the UK, East Asian, don't mess with black dudes whatsoever. I mentioned Theo right a couple months ago. I'm in a bus stop. I sit down, right? I drop my earpiece on the floor. It goes next to the feet of an Asian chick. She looks at me and she runs away. I was like, what? Are you serious? She runs from the opposite. She runs from the one point of the bus up to the other bus, looking at me like I'm some sort of monster. Running away from me. I'm like, what's going on? An Asian chick, Theo. So that's the vibes here for black dudes in the UK, man. These Asian chicks don't mess with us in any shape or form. They want a white guy. And I can see how it can influence and impact negatively a black dude who likes Asian chicks. You have to go abroad, man. Learn the language and go abroad. Why are you
doing that in your country? Go abroad. You're caught up on what's going on in the West. Notice I'm not caught up on what's going on in the West. You talk to me about what Keisha's doing here, and I'm unaware because I don't give a damn. I'm not caring about what Keisha's doing here. I don't care. If I were walking along the river and Keisha were like, I'm going to jump in, I wouldn't even know. If she were floating in the river and asking for help, I wouldn't care. I'd be walking down. I've got my own business to do. You have got to have that kind of thinking. Stop caring about what other women are thinking about you in the West. Be 100% ice cold about it. Get your passport, get a one-way ticket to another country, and leave. Then you don't have a problem.
Facts. Absolute facts. All right, let's react to an article by the next president of the United States. I want to definitely hear Theo's thoughts on this. Flipping heck, man. Okay, let me pull it up. So it says here, right? Let me share my screen. Okay. Present. Share screen. share screen. Okay. So it says here, right? Trump confirms plan to declare national emergency, use military for mass deportations. That's pretty serious there. Flipping heck. So it says here, right? President-elect Donald Trump on Monday confirmed that he will declare a national emergency to carry out his campaign promise of mass deportations of migrants living in the US without legal permission. All right. Overnight, Trump responded to a social media post from Judicial Watch's Tom Fitton, who said earlier this month that there are reports the incoming administration is preparing such a declaration and to use military assets to deport migrants. All right. Trump pledged to get started on mass deportations as soon as he enters the office. Okay. Ooh. Already, he's tapped several immigration hardliners to serve in key cabinet positions. South Dakota governor, Kristi Noem, was picked to be Homeland Security Secretary, pending Senate confirmation. Former acting U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Officer, Director Tom Holleman, what a name, was named Border SAR. Okay, so whoa, so brother, right? Trump is going to invoke the military for mass deportations. Phil, how do you feel about that, bro? Lord have mercy. Is that too extreme? Is that how you want to do things?
He can't do that. It's impossible to invoke the military and use the military like that in U.S. land inside the United States. He could do it externally, but he can't do it internally. It's against the Constitution. It's either against the Constitution or it's against U.S. law. I forgot which one. That'll go directly to the Supreme Court. It'll get overturned. There is no way he's going to be able to do that.
Okay, so that won't get through. Obviously, the Supreme Court might strike it down. So, what can he do to carry out mass deportations, Phil?
Well, he can use the normal police force that we have. He can use ICE and other services that he has inside the United States and actually do that. Yeah, that won't be an issue. We have plenty of mechanisms within the United States to actually enact mass deportation. So that's not an issue. He
Awesome.
can declare. I'm looking at the chat. It's saying he's going to declare a national emergency. I guarantee you, that'll go to the Supreme Court. That'll get struck down. They'll say this is not a national emergency, so he won't be able to do that. Because if he could do that, like no president has ever used the military in that way inside U.S. borders historically. I can't even think of one time that has ever happened. We just don't do that crap. It's not who we are as a people. So,
Phil, do we want mass deportations? I think we know for a fact that immigration has become an issue in America, and I think we can all agree to that. Particularly how America brings in racist people that look down on Black American men. We don't want that at all. And if you're coming into the country looking down on Black people or bringing racism there, I think you should leave and be deported. Not even for that though, right? Jobs as well. We want tech jobs to be going to Americans, to be going to Black men and Americans. Okay, and these HB1 visas impact that. So, Phil, are we for pro mass deportations, right?
Well, but okay. So what we want is a limitation of H1B1 because that would directly affect us. So that would be a good thing. And then like for mass deportations, it would affect a lot. It would affect a lot of people who are trying to get normal, even low-level jobs. So yes, I'd say go ahead and do that. I don't have a problem with it. And as people have said, well, what about the anchor babies? We'll deport the anchor babies too. The anchor babies can go along with the parents. At this point, I don't have a problem. Obama deported more people than any other president. He deported 3 million people. I don't know why Trump in his first term didn't deport more. I was like, do more than Obama, do 4 million people. I think Trump, if he really wants to make an impact, he should deport like 10 million people in the next 4 years.
Oh, okay. And how do you think that might affect the economy? I've been hearing that might affect the economy in a negative way. Who's going to work those jobs? That could close jobs down. That's a lot. The economy.
At this point, I have no problems with it, honestly speaking. I just don't have any. I have no problems with this. I don't think it's going to affect it's not going to affect me at all. So I'm fine with it. I think it's going to help out a lot of people who, well, for one thing, that we won't be spending that money on foreigners who are coming in. We won't be accepting so many coming in over claiming asylum, so we'll be spending less money there. And basically, it's what a lot of conservatives want. They won the election. They should get what they want now. So I don't have a problem with that either.
Okay. Awesome.
And we can always get our food from across the border. So again, I'm here in Texas. How much of our food comes from Mexico? It's a lot. So we can just grow the food in Mexico, or it's not bad. I don't have an issue with that, and then just truck it over the border. I don't have an issue with that at all. People saying that the price of food, some food will increase, yes, but not all of it's going to increase. I do not have a problem with this.
Awesome. Stop sharing. Okay, let's see over here. So let me share this report over here as well. Okay, big news. Share screen. Okay, so I've got something over here. Okay, present. Share screen, and share screen. Okay, so look at this over here. Okay, it says here, President Trump to remove capital gains tax from certain US cryptocurrencies. A new report suggests that Trump might remove capital gains taxes on US issued crypto tokens. This would mean that investors will no longer have to pay taxes on the profit they make from trading in crypto. Okay. However, this offer is only applicable to companies registered in the US. If non-US companies want to benefit from it, they should relocate to the US. Okay. Donald Trump is reportedly planning to eliminate the 37% capital gains taxes on US issued cryptocurrencies. 37%. That's crazy. This would mean that US investors will no longer have to pay any taxes on the profit they made from certain cryptocurrencies. Okay. Mm-hmm. Currently, the worst part of this scheme is that users also have to pay tax for using crypto in their daily life, such as paying for buying clothes or shopping online. Okay. So, Phil, how do you feel about you being in America, right, and having no taxes on US issued crypto tokens? I think that's incredible, and this is what I was saying the other day, right? Like, when you're voting for a candidate, remove the emotion out of it and do what's best for your pocket. A lot of passport bros, a lot of men are in cryptocurrencies. Let's keep it real, okay? Mm-hmm. And if taxes are eliminated on US-based cryptocurrencies, I think there's some tokens that are made in the US, etc., etc. There's no taxes on that. That is a pathway to building wealth, for traveling, for investing, etc., etc. Do you welcome this, Theo? This kind of proposal by Trump?
Oh yeah, this is great. I think this will benefit us quite a lot, and it'll also dramatically increase the price of crypto. So this is a boon for us. I got no problem with that. So guys in the chat, you guys are definitely going to be making some money off of this one. This is good. So far, Trump is delivering. What we want is no double taxation for American citizens who are living abroad. If that one goes through, along with the crypto, shoot, man. Yeah, we'll do quite well.
Facts, absolute facts. And I want to say this right, okay? Trump won the election 2 weeks ago, and the market is still doing great. Crypto market is through the roof. Stock market is doing great too. Trump was the right person to win. I don't care about liberalism anymore. I used to be a liberal, quit that. Probably the worst phase of my life being a liberal a couple of years ago. I remember I was a liberal. I got no girlfriends. Women didn't respect me. Liberal women were dating thugs, right? When I was liberal. And I'm thinking, hey, I'm liberal. Why don't you date me? Right? So it's still a bunch of BS, right? Okay. Do what's best for you and your pocket. Do it. Okay. So I'm hoping for 4 years of great Trump success. And if it does well, I hope whoever runs in 2028 for the Republicans, I hope he wins it. Because I don't really care. But do what's best for you. Okay. This is great news. Vote with your pockets. Ain't that right, Theo? I mean, it's just time, man. It's time.
Yeah, you guys have got to vote with your pockets at all times and not be concerned if you're hurting somebody else's feelings. You don't owe anyone any explanation for your decisions in life. They don't give you an explanation. They do what they want to do, so that's what you're supposed to do as well. A lot of people are trying to guilt Black men into voting for the gynocracy, and that makes no sense whatsoever. So, guys, do what's best for you. That's what I did. Do what's best for you. Think about your own pocketbook first, and go on from there.
Facts. I think if you're right, I think if Trump's 4 years goes so well, and I think he will, Trump may be the GOAT president. He may be the best president ever. I know that's a crazy statement, Theo, but it's looking like if our pockets are enriched, if he carries out the mass deportations, if he, sorts out inflation, crown him the GOAT. He's a GOAT. Is that a fair statement there, Theo?
Yeah, I have to admit, right? I really do have to admit with you on that one. The degree of him coming back, like, he should not be around right now. He should actually be in a jail cell. The fact that he's the president-elect, he survived a deletion. He kept on going. He lost the presidency before, and he came back, and he won the popular vote and crushed the opposition. I just have to say, I mean, hats off to him. I'm like, you're the man. Like, you're doing it. He's actually achieved great man status. And so he's going to go down in history as one of the greatest presidents that we'll ever talk about. We might say infamous or famous or powerful, but let's just say 100 years from now, people like historians will be analyzing this guy quite a lot. So hats off to him.
Shout out to Trump, man. Future GOAT, in my opinion. Awesome. All right, stop sharing over here. Okay. So I've got this article here, BRICS. Okay. And I know Theo is he's pro-America. America this, I'm an American man, F BRICS, but
it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with the American dollar. It's looking at the actual currency. Like, I thought the euro was going to be a great currency, and then I saw what happened. I was like, yeah, this isn't working. But I thought the euro was going to be something. So after I got educated on the euro, I look at the BRICS. I'm like, no, bro. But okay, go ahead. It's not that I'm anti-BRICS. It's just that there's nothing to support with BRICS. That's just hopes and promises. Okay. That's it. It's like a spiritual marriage. That's cute, but it's not real. You can't get a visa on that. It doesn't pay the bills. All right, but go ahead. Do your BRICS. Let's go ahead. Let's see what's there.
So it says here, right? Colombia seeks BRICS membership, deepens Russia ties during Moscow talks. Oh, Colombia, which is a very popular travel destination for many people, wants to join BRICS. Colombia has expressed interest in joining the BRICS group as part of its effort to expand international alliances and access new funding opportunities. Foreign Minister Luis Gilberto Murillo confirmed the country's interest during a visit to Moscow last week, citing ongoing discussions with the Shanghai-based BRICS New Development Bank, headed by Dilma Rousseff. Okay, Murillo's visit also aimed to strengthen bilateral ties with Russia, making a step towards reactivating relations ahead of the 90th anniversary of the diplomatic ties in 2025. Foreign Russian Minister Sergei Lavrov stated that both countries plan to resume work on bilateral commission to enhance cooperation in trade, economics, and science. Okay, discussions included cultural and academic exchanges, with Murillo receiving the title of emeritus professor from a Russian university. Colombia is a promising partner for Russia and Latin America. Okay, the two countries' relations are based on traditional friendship and cooperation, mutual trust and respect. In 2025, they will mark 90 years of their diplomatic relations, the Kremlin said. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, BRICS is only growing, okay? And Russia isn't going anywhere, right? And like I mentioned, right, it takes small steps, okay? If Colombia wants to join BRICS, it means that BRICS is going places. More countries want to join BRICS. We're seeing that over the past several few months. Hey, we want to join BRICS. It means that BRICS has potential. Now, BRICS is small. We know the dollar is still powerful. We know America is still powerful. We know the euros is more powerful than BRICS. But it's baby steps to become, you know, a powerful, influential governing body when it comes to BRICS. Phil, how do you feel about this, bro? In terms of Colombia seeking BRICS membership? Breaking news, groundbreaking, right?
No, it's another zero. It's not anything. Look, the Colombians, how much are they trading with? How much are they trading with Russia versus, say, Venezuela or Brazil, Mexico, or the United States? And we're not even talking about China. So if we're talking about what their main markets are, where their actual trade is, you know that, yeah, of course, they're using the dollar quite a lot. If you're looking at the visas that they give to American retirees or European retirees, you know that they're very much looking at the dollar or the euro in order to support their economy. You don't have Russians going to Colombia to retire. That ain't happening. There's not a reason to change rubles into the local currency in Brazil. In Colombia. Again, it's a cute little thing. You know, I would say maybe this will be more beneficial to Brazil than anyone else, right? But in terms of trade, because they're so close together. But in terms of Russia, no, this is nothing for Russia. It's cute. That's it. You know.
If you don't believe in BRICS potential, but don't worry. Okay,
No.
5 years time, 10 years time, we're going to see BRICS become a major geopolitical force. It just takes small steps to build relationships.
That's like saying 5 years or 10 years from now, Greece will be out of debt. It's not going to be out of debt in 10 years. It almost brought the euro down. And we're talking Greece, right? This isn't a Greece situation. Nah. 100 years from now, Greece will still be a problem to the euro. 100 years from now, BRICS won't be anything. It'll be still like a little dream. That's it. If anything, Siberia won't belong to Russia anymore. That's what I believe will actually happen. Siberia will go its own way and form a relationship with China or some sort of, they'll be under Chinese protectorate, because Siberia will do much better with China than actual Russia. I want to see that happen. But in the meantime, man, no. Russia is on its deathbed as far as I'm concerned. They had better fix themselves quick, or else they're not going to be relevant within the next 5 years.
I disagree with that. Especially with Trump in, he's going to push to end the war in Ukraine. And when you see Russia make some major moves in the future with BRICS and its and its economy. But we'll see. Time will tell. Okay, time will tell. Awesome. So what else I have here? I've got a clip here from Kenya and Donald Trump. They will put the phone lines. Let's go. Video file. This one over here. Okay. Let's go. So apparently Trump is very big and popular in Kenya.
What is it about this man that resonates with so many Kenyans? Let's talk about Donald Trump. Trump's popularity here is on the up, but why are so many Kenyans standing behind him?
Well, I'll tell you why, right, before these guys speak about that. Africa is conservative. Trump is conservative. In fact, most black people are conservative, regardless whether they're in the West or in Africa. And even though we saw a lot of black men and black women vote for, actually we saw a lot of black men vote for Kamala in the election, a good amount of those black men, right, are conservative. It's just that they've been brainwashed by the liberals to vote for Democrats, right? We are conservative people as black people. Let's keep it real.
I've always believed in that guy. He's a good guy. Just that people don't believe in him.
So is it just a few voices or do more Africans support him? A June 2024 survey by Pew Research Center found that 59% of Kenyans were confident Trump would do the right thing for global affairs. In Ghana and Nigeria, majority of those polled there believed the same. And it's his style that resonates with most people here. Trump is perceived to have strong leadership. His direct style appeals to those who value firm leadership, viewing it as a mark of strength. Then there are his conservative values. His opposition to issues like same-sex marriage aligns with the values of most Kenyan societies. Such conservative views create a sense of shared cultural practice. Trump's leadership style is obviously admired by many here. But will the president-elect manage to create a real connection with a continent that he's never set foot in?
Awesome. Fantastic. You know, so that shows me that Kenya is a country that I want to be in. You know, because if Kenyans leaned politically conservative and social conservative, I want to be in a society like that. Okay? If I meet women who are Trump supporters, if I meet women who are conservative and they're Kenyan, I want that woman in my life. Okay, and these are the kind of things we want to be targeting. These kind of countries that support Trump that are conservative. Theo, would you agree or disagree with that, Theo?
I think for passport bros, this would be good. But I've always thought Kenya was good for passport bros. So this is just another indicator that that's a place where you should go. I'm not surprised this is going on. I'm all for it. I got no problems here.
Why is Kenya good for passport bros, in your opinion?
Yeah, good infrastructure, good food, good people, very positive, low crime rate, ability to maintain your a company, good rule of law. It's a good place to be. I got no problem with that.
And it's conservative too, right? Most Kenyans are conservative when you come across, right, or who you spoke to.
Yeah. So it's good. I'd say definitely go for it, guys. If you want to consider Kenya, go for it.
Facts. I also feel like the Kenyan women are very hot, good looking. Some of the best black women in Africa. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do like Kenyan women. so they're good looking, they're conservative, they have conservative values because they have social conservative values. They're good people. What's there not to like? I think Kenya should be a spot that the bros should be looking into a lot more. Maybe we got to get. Come on, bro.
Oh, you got Auston Holleman's out there. I believe it's in Kenya. So, yeah, I mean, that's one place you'd go to. But, yeah, I mean, maybe you should go out there. I don't know. I think if you could just learn Japanese properly, do more, I think you're better with a J Chica than anything else. But, oh, well, to each his own.
Why not half black, half Kenyan, half Japanese? Does that exist for you? This is both worlds, right? Half black, half Kenyan, half Japanese. That's got to exist, right? That's got to exist. Best of both worlds, bro. It don't exist, sir. Okay. All right. All right, cool. Okay, so brothers, okay, let me stop sharing here. All right, and hopefully one day a half black, half Japanese chick pops out like Pokemon in our lives. Awesome. So, Theo, should we open up the phone lines? How long do you have left here? Feels up to you.
I got some time. Yeah, it's nothing really going on in Japan right now, so yeah, we can go ahead and talk a little bit.
All right, brothers, call in. Okay, if you have a question for us in regards to the live stream topic or what we just reacted to, call in. Okay, we hear it's an interesting stream today. We got over 119 people watching. Okay, good turnout. That's great. Get the likes up though, please. Okay, so support the channel, support the movement. And can we make sure you follow me on Kick? Get me to 100 followers on Kick. Do you want that Munich, Germany stream? Do you want that Ibiza, Spain stream? Because I have a lot to say about Munich, Germany. I need you, right? Okay. I need you to follow me on Kick and on Twitch. All right. Please follow me on those platforms. So I'm going to post the Kick and Twitch link on the chat. Okay. So here's my Kick. All right. Follow me on Kick. Okay. I need 100 followers on Kick. Do you want that Munich, Germany stream? My Kick is here. And here's my Twitch as well. So Twitch and Kick, please follow me on those platforms. Create an account, right? And follow me on those platforms, please. Okay, on my Twitch and on my Kick. Okay. And the Japanese stream too, of course, that's coming very soon. Okay. So call in. All right. Great stream, bro. Great stream. Let me see. Do I have an article here? Let me see here. There was a. Okay, we have Black Muslim and coming in. Brother, you're confirmed. Do you want to turn the camera off? Okay, let me bring in Black Muslim in the background. What's going on, Mr. Black Muslim? How you doing, bro?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all?
Doing well. Good to have you here.
I'm all right, man. You good?
I'm all right. Hold on. I think I'm back on. Playing back. Oh, here it is. All right, there we go. Hey, what's going on, fellas? How y'all feeling, man? Hey, this was a great stream. This is a great stream.
Great. Yeah, we're trying.
You were saying a lot of things. I always say I feel like I didn't even really need to say much. You were saying a lot of things that's on point, man. I just wanted to add to it. Marriage is the beginning of community. You know what I'm saying? And the thing that we lack is community. Like, we need 10 guys working on engineering projects. We need 10 guys working on mercantilism. We need 10 guys. It's like when you have a family, like married men talk about different subjects than single men. Single men is like, where the women at? Where's the fun at? Where's the good times at? You know what I'm saying? Married men talk about like, we don't have no schools to educate our children. We don't own these businesses. Who owns this hotel? You know what I'm saying? Like they talk about different things, which is why I always push marriage. Like I'm always like, brothers, get your IT together, go overseas, get your wife, and they go. I'm in Morocco. I just met 10. I met 3 black guys. They've been here. One of them been here for 2 years. Another one been here for 3 years, and the other one I don't know how long he been here. But they got Moroccan wives, and they're all focused on building stuff. There's an area in Marrakesh that's going up brand new. Apartments are right now at the starting, like you building them, you're getting them built for like 35, 40K. When they're done, they're going to be 75, 90 to sell to other people. And it's going to be difficult to even buy into the neighborhood. Those are apartments. The houses are going to be 200K. This is I don't know the name of the area, but it's like near Mashtad Aisha. It's real beautiful area, man. And it's like, like the way married men think and the way single men think is totally different. And so all I can tell single men to do is to get married, and then you'll understand. You won't understand until you get married, I promise you, man. But once you get married, you'll understand. You'll be like, okay, yeah, I was kind of wasting time, going through all this stuff. The other thing that we was talking about was like the vetting process. And I commented on you, like, you won't really know until you know what you want. Like Theo was saying, you got to know what you want. And it's a lot of guys who don't even know what they want in life. They go somewhere, they meet a woman, and she's standing there right in front of him, but he doesn't know like how, like, does he want, what kind of meals he wants, what kind of lifestyle he wants, what kind of woman he wants over his children. You got to realize how much impact the mother is of the children. That's half of who they are. So, like, it's just so many things, like, about knowing who you are, fellas. And the way you're going to know who you are is through trial and error, man. You got to get up, get out, and do stuff. But the other thing IP kept saying was like, man, we need 4 years for each woman. It shouldn't take you 4 years every time you meet a chick. Let's say it took you 4 years the first time, IP, right? In that 4 years, you should have learned a whole bunch of things that you don't like. You should be like, I don't like when this kind of thing or that kind of thing or this, you should learn those things in those 4 years. And then in time, the next time you meet a chick, you be like, oh, she's doing the same thing the other chick did. Nope, this ain't gonna work. And you move on real quickly.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You learn it much more quickly, and you also, if you fundamentally know what your values are and what you're going to deal with and where you're going, then it's easier to weed the women out and feel like, yep, this isn't going to work. You got a good figure. I don't care. I can't put you in my life. Yeah, you got to keep on going, and that's just the way it is. And then when you find someone who actually does meet the requirements, you can move pretty quick on her. If you align with her requirements, it's very fast. You're like, okay, yeah, this is going to happen.
Facts. Great points there, Batman. Thank you, bro.
No problem.
Awesome. I'll put you on mute there. I hear some background noise. Right, brothers, feel free to call in if you have any questions or want to speak about what's happening this week. Phil, let's talk about crypto for a bit, Phil, right? Because you're a Bitcoin dude, right? And Bitcoin is at, let me put it up, okay? Bitcoin is at 90K, right? And it's holding steady on that 90K, right? Let me put it up real quick. What we're seeing here is phenomenal. Okay, let me put it up here. Let's see here. Okay, share screen. Share screen. Oh, shoots, it's garbage laptop. Share screen. Share screen.
Come on, man! I'm sure you have a good laptop.
It's trash, bro. It's losing its powers.
You're rich. You're rich. I'm sure you're rich. I'm not even worried about it.
I'm not a rich dude, man. One day like you, Phil. I'm working on that, bro. I'm working on that. So you can see it, Phil, right?
Oh wow!
Look at this, bro. Okay.
I haven't looked at it recently.
91K, right? 91K 355. All right. Phil, you got out of Bitcoin right at here. Was it 74K?
I received between 67 and 68,000 per Bitcoin.
Damn.
So yeah, this looks great. Too bad I didn't wait for a little bit longer. I could have made another 1.2 million.
Damn, flipping heck. So Theo, where do you see Bitcoin landing at in this cycle? 300K, $500,000.
Oh, I don't even pay attention to it, to be honest. It lands where it lands. We'll see what happens. I'm in the cloud. That's it. So my investments do their thing. That I don't really think about it, and I hope that I can come back one day and I can get this huge amount of money. But until they do, I'm worried about the day-to-day life. Walking my dogs, riding my bike, getting my sets in, stuff like that.
Okay, awesome. Black Muslim, you still into crypto, bro?
Yeah, my Bitcoin, man, I needed it. It came in right in time, man. It's been great, man. I'm waiting for some other coins to jump off. I need this engine coin to wake up. I thought Facebook was going to start using it to buy things on it, but they didn't do anything yet. I thought Meta was going to start using it. I don't know. I'm still waiting on that. But yeah, my coin, my cryptos, I'm loving this. As soon as you said 91,000, I didn't even know it jumped that far. Last time I checked, it was at 74. And then I had to check just now, like, I'm doing great right
now. Yeah, this is phenomenal. So I just say more power to it. I hope it continues. I hope we have those investments. There's guys in the chat who definitely have a lot of crypto. I hope you guys become multimillionaires. So this is something that we all need, and I hope you guys, I hope all of us become successful with it.
Facts. And brothers, do you believe the average woman is into cryptocurrency in the West? Hell no, right? So that shows you the difference between men and women. So you've worked hard, right, to invest in cryptocurrency, dollar cost averaging for the past several years. You don't want to give this wealth that you're going to make, hopefully, in the future to a Western chick or any chick for the matter of fact. Okay, you have to protect it, preserve it, okay, and make sure that you benefit from it. This is your hard work for being patient. Women are not patient when it comes to investing. Okay, all they want is Gucci bags, all they want is red bottom shoes and all that nonsense. Okay, whereas men, we're more logical. We're thinking about, we want to build wealth to buy a property, for retirement, for maintenance. That's how we think, bro. Right? So don't pick the wrong woman in your life, bruv. Don't.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. Well, again, I'd say I wouldn't even think about what Western women are thinking regarding investments. Just think about what's going to be best for you individually, and go forward and really make that happen. And then think about the kind of life you want to have abroad afterwards. So again, I'm preparing to leave, and I have my investments and see what we can do. I want to have a certain kind of life abroad, and I'm looking to achieve that. So hopefully I will be able to do that. And for all of you who are here, I hope you guys also get your training done and get your job, and you have your investments, you can go abroad and have the real life that you're looking for as well.
Facts. Wow. Seeing where Bitcoin has come all time, that's insane, bruv. I remember hearing about Bitcoin in 2017, and it was at $1,000. Didn't buy it. I just don't know. I didn't understand cryptocurrency back then. I was just like, what is this stuff? It was only up until 2021 when I started doing more research. And I was like, oh man, I missed out on some gains there. But it just showed you having a long-term foresight is very key in this world, man. Always think 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, and work on that timeline. So salute to all the brothers who go into Bitcoin early, and may you become rich and prosperous of it. Okay, we love to see and we love to hear it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Just guys, keep on going, doing those investments as much as you possibly can. Let's see how far you can go, and study with us. Make sure you get your certs. Make sure you get jobs in programming and cloud. You guys can do it.
Yes, indeed. Okay, brothers, feel free to call in if you want to chime in, if you want to ask any questions. Let us know. Mr. Black Muslim, do you have any questions? Do you want to speak on anything else?
Oh man, no, I was just thinking, like, man, when you were telling everybody to hurry up and get the crypto, and you had the whole like couple episodes on it, man. It was like 20. It was 21 then, or 25. It was something low, man. To see it blow up to this point, bro, that's kind of crazy, man. It's kind of crazy. 91 is kind of crazy. I didn't expect it to go this much, and I'm thinking like maybe it's going to continue this way until the inauguration. What do you guys think about that?
Oh, I think
Facts.
For a while, I guess, we'll see what happens. We'll see what he actually does, but I want to see XRP actually pop off. I want to see Ethereum pop off, and some other ones as well. So let's see what happens.
Funny you say XRP, Theo, right? Because Duck, let me know. Is that you, Duck? Put your camera on in the background, Duck, just so I know you're not a troll. Duck Dissident. 5, 4. Is that you, bro? Duck. All right, let me share my screen, okay? Yep, you confirmed. Thank you, bro. You can turn your camera off. I'll bring you in a minute. Present, share screen. Okay. Share screen IP. So, Theo, right? Funny you mentioned XRP, okay? So for the longest time, right, XRP's price will stay stagnant. And in the past week or so, Theo, look at this, bro. It doubled it in its price. It went from 55 cents to $1.13. It's moving, bro. So if you go into XRP a long time ago, you should be eating. Look at this, bro. Insane. Look at that.
Well, I mean, no, you need to think like wait 10 years and see what you're doing. So that's 10 years from now. Let's see where it's at. That's where you're going to get them. That's where you're going to really make it. So I wouldn't be doing it so quickly. Just 10 years is plenty of time.
But obviously, if you're in this cycle, you want to buy it and sell and buy again, right? Because you want to get your gains out, right?
No.
Buy low, sell high. Unless there's some coins where it won't last for 10 years, bro.
No, I say buy and then forget, and then come back later on. If you're always looking at it, always, you're more likely to make a mistake. You're more likely to actually lose money and actually have to deal with capital gains or something like that, some sort of crap. And you should spend your time more on your career. That's where you're actually going to do it. Again, when I made my money with Bitcoin, I didn't do it by actually looking at it all the time. I looked at it like twice over, I think, a 10-year time period or something like that. I didn't care. I had other things to do. If you're always, again, with my portfolio that I have, I don't know. I have a lot of Apple stock. I don't know what the value of the Apple stock is right now. I don't care. I got other things to do. So, buy it, then forget, go off to something else, improve your cash flow with your job. That's where you really want to do it. But if you're cashing in and getting the capital gain now instead of waiting 10 years, well, you could be putting yourself in a very bad position long term. So I wouldn't do that.
Okay. Awesome. Stop sharing. Okie dokie. Duck is trying to call in. Yeah, we'll try and get him on. Theo, how's your cloud class going? You speak of that, Theo, for the brothers?
It's going well. I'm enjoying it. We're doing one more class before Armageddon. So we're doing the security section tomorrow. So I've got, I got a pretty good team helping me out, particularly Rob. I have someone who's actually helping me out, so I can kind of detox a bit, because I'm telling you, I go pretty hard. I'm doing something in the manosphere every single day. So I'm actually burning out, to be honest. So it's good to have help, and we're thinking that a lot of guys are going to get jobs in Kubernetes, particularly from now until the spring. So we're hoping this is good.
Awesome. Great job, man. Great job. Awesome. What's happening here? Turn it off. All right. And any callers? I'll post link in the chat. You want to call in? Let us know. Call in. Link in the chat. Invite. Call in. We have over 110 people watching. Call in. So I'm still editing my Japan clips. I have a lot of clips from me in Shimo Kitazawa, me in Odaiba, Tokyo, Odaiba. That's a crazy city. It's a crazy place in Tokyo. My goodness, the Gundam statue. You've been there, right, Odaiba?
Oh, of course. I got a lot of memories in Odaiba. Yeah, it's good. It's a good place. I love the train that goes over the bridge. It's so fun. Yeah,
bro, it's beautiful, man. I'm telling you, like, obviously my Japan internship are coming out very soon, but I'm telling you, Japan is a different world, man. Like, if you really want to get out the West, just quit your job and go to Japan. Just do it, bruv. Just do it. 2025 should be a year where you do what you want to do. Okay, you live the life where you want to live, because Japan is if you know what you're doing in Japan, you can live very good there. Okay, let me bring in Duck in the background. Okay, Duck, you confirm, bro. You confirm. Thank you very much, Duck. Thank you very much. I'm bringing Duck. What's going on, Duck? How you doing, bro?
Oh, I'm doing right at a Black Muslim atheo.
Hey there.
Yeah, I was really just piggyback from what Black Muslim and Theo were talking about. It's like, it shouldn't take you a life. It shouldn't take you 4 years to get to know someone's quirks. I mean, it's something you'll pick up immediately. I mean, it's like you have to know yourself. And I think when you take the time to do some self-discovery, you have to take a break from women. You really do. You have to break the time for yourself and really do some soul searching, not just with women, but just in life in general. There's only so much that you can learn from your peers that you can learn from yourself. And women are really there in a way. They are kind of help facilitate things for us, right? But you have to know what you want to do. You have to have a roadmap for them. And if you don't have a roadmap for yourself, you can't lead a woman out of the water, no matter where she's at.
Yep, I agree. Yep. And you have to know where I always say you fundamentally need to know where she's going in life. So you need to know where you're going and where she's going. And it may look like both of your ships are going in the same direction, but you need to really read those manifests to figure out what is the direction of that ship. So a lot of guys just think, well, she's beautiful, I want to get some, blah blah blah, and then what happens is that she ends up torpedoing your ship and it sinks, and you weren't supposed to be with her in the first place. So understand where she's going, then you can protect yourself.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother, right? You go there, Doc. Sorry, bro. You go.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, it's like, you have to set your course. I mean, if you know where you're going to be, integrate yourself, at least understanding her culture. What's the family like? What's their structure like? And if it's something that you don't have, something that you may have to consider yourself to really get into. It's just not something that's just going to happen on a whim. Like, you actually have to make that conscious effort of doing that self-discovery now, because if you save it for later, it's all of the honeymoon period is gonna show. Those other things underlying are going to show if you're not actively working on yourself. So don't think that just because you're going to go somewhere else or move somewhere else that it's going to be better. It's an internal conflict that you have to daily make an effort to work on and at least be aware of. And at least if you're aware of it, then you want to at least place yourself somewhere where at least you'll be less stressful. You'll have someone in a family, in a community, which I think is very important to stress on, is community. We don't have that here in America, but in other cultures and places, community is everything, So we have to break from being that island, so to speak, by ourselves. And once you relinquish that, let go of that, and pull from your network, looking for a woman will not even be a thing for you. The people in your network will to have things set in place to be able to meet with the right type of woman. You shouldn't have to be looking for women at all.
Facts.
All right.
Facts. Great point there. Jam, can you turn your camera on in the background so I know you're not a troll? Yeah, you're confirmed. Thank you, Jam. Let me bring in Jam, right? And I just want to make a comment here as well in regards to, dating beautiful women. So I think we're men, right? And we all like aesthetically pleasing women, okay? But I find that dating or marrying very good looking chicks, right, is a problem, right? It is a problem because there'll be too much attention towards her. She knows her value. And I don't want that kind of attention, right? I don't want that problem. So me personally, right, I'm happy 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. And she has a great personality and she's good to be around, right? Rather than a beautiful chick, right, who's 10 out of 10, but she's horrible personality, all right, is coldless, emotionless. I don't really want that. I think a lot of guys need to understand that the best women, right, are women who are average looking, in my opinion. If she's too good looking, there'll be problems there, bro. And if she knows she's good looking, good luck. Theo, do you agree or disagree, Theo?
Well, historically, this is the main reason why men usually date 2 levels down, is to make sure that they don't have this problem. But also, again, we're in the manosphere. You always have to remember that she has a shelf life with her beauty. Her extreme beauty only lasts so long, whereas your value only increases over time. So as long as you understand that, it's easy to look over her beauty and just concentrate on her core values. And then you can date up, actually. It's not that hard to do.
You guys in the chat, in the panel, agree with that? Would you not date a beautiful chick because there's trouble, or would you risk it, or would you go for an average chick? I want to know your thoughts.
It has to be a full panel analysis from that. I mean, if she just has beauty alone, then yeah, it's that's. Can she? Does she have a mind? Can she actually help you grow your finances? Can she help you, raise children to become competent adults who give back to the family? Those are intangible things, of course, but those are values that are nonetheless add to that score. Because to me, it's like a woman that's a 9. She may be average looking, but she is very much self-aware of who she is, and she is a self-starter. When she's up at like 5 a.m. in the morning to make my breakfast, to help me get to work, make sure I'm where I need to be, takes care of the family. She is on good terms with her family. She looks after her family. It's just like she's selfless to a certain degree. To me, like, you have to go beyond the looks. You got to look at life skills. Does she know how to survive on her own? Does she bring honor to her family already? And she'll be able to see that from you. If she's on good terms with her father, if she has siblings, brothers or sisters, how do they work together in that dynamic? And you really have to look at that. Even a woman could be so good looking, but be very dysfunctional. And it's just not good for your children. You have to look at it as a father. Do you want that? You want to have someone who, when you're away, who is helping to nurture your children, not to turn them against you. You have to look at sometimes those little quirks. You may give them a pass because, she has a nice booty and a smile. No, that could be counter to what you want in a family unit. So you have to really think, like you said, in the next 5 to 10 years. You have to think in the next 18 years. You really have to take it seriously. If you can't even at least get the chance to meet with the family, at least meet the elders of the family, you have to win. And when you win her over and it's right, they're going to respect you. You really have to show face. But yeah, there's only so far you can go with dating a woman and she's not going to marry because neither of you all are really in it for the long run. There's only short-term gains and long-term failures.
I used to think that, man, when I was living back in the West in the States, like, oh, a beautiful woman always comes with problems. Then I left, man. Oh my God. Bro, I was in an airport in Addis Ababa, man. Met a beautiful black doctor woman. You know what I'm saying? I had just gotten married, so I wasn't really paying too much attention. I was in Egypt, man, and I met a Egyptian woman. She's an engineer. Like, it's gorgeous women that are also intelligent and also ready to be wives. Like, I remember my mother was in Ohio State when she was like young. I was only like 2 years old. She told me the women came from Malaysia to become doctors so they can become better wives. Like, there is a culture in the West where like they like this, you get this like kind of what do you call it? Ego, what's the thing? Narcissism. You get narcissist women when they get power and wealth, right? But in the East, man, women go do that so they can better serve their family. So
Right.
they can be part of make the family better. So you can get a gorgeous woman and she be like the perfect building blocks for a family. Like, the limitation is in the West, not overseas.
Yeah. Yep. I totally agree. So when they use their beauty, I saw that abroad as well. I saw that in Brazil in particular. They use their beauty in order to build a family and to actually make people better. Oh, she's a total asset. So that's great. But you know, in the West, she uses her beauty. She commoditizes it, weaponizes it against men, and basically destroys people or destroys communities. That's like the worst case scenario. So, guys, go use your passport, go abroad. You'll do much better.
But it's the fact that there's too much attention on beautiful chicks. Like, there'll be guys trying to approach her, and you might have to fight them off, or it's just like there'll be people trying to get at her, right? And I'm not at that point in time where I just want to be fighting dudes over my girl. I just want to chill, man. And when she's really good looking, right? That's something you have to be cognizant of. Other guys want her too. They'll be trying to get at her on social media or in real life. I just can't. I'm tired, bruv. So I'd rather just keep it chill.
You're thinking about this from the Western point of view. If you're abroad, no, she's abroad. She's worried that you're going to leave her because you are rare. There are plenty of beautiful women.
Yep.
So you're thinking that beautiful women are like scarce. Abroad, they're plentiful.
I was just about to say that, like, they're so plentiful, bro. Like, in Morocco, my wife, it's so many beautiful women, man. And like, they find you actually they find you. Yeah. And you're actually more of the rare thing. And then, like, you're 6'4", aren't you 6'4", IP?
Nope, nowhere near 6'4".
What are you?
5'11".
5'11". Okay, you're 5'11", man. Like, you're walking through freaking streets, people see you. Like, it's very intimidating, man. And like, I've witnessed it a lot of times. Just hearing, like, yesterday, I went to the bank, man, and you know, it was a crowded bank, so my wife was like, "I'm gonna just stand outside," and then this woman just like came right into the bank and just stood right in front of me, and like, my wife walked in like, "Hey." I was going to stand outside, but people need to know that we're married.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like there's a lot of beautiful women, man, and like, it's more beautiful women overseas. I remember reading an article a long time ago about in Japan where like the women were like, they had to compete to get men, so they started going like getting better grades in school because it was difficult. Like, now everybody's beautiful, everybody's Japanese version beautiful. How am I going to get this man? Well, he's looking for a woman who's not just beautiful, but also very highly intelligent, you know, able to do something.
Yeah, that beauty, like, that the women see for us, it's like the beauty from within, and that has to shine. And how can it shine? When you're so caught still in the matrix, even if you're not in the matrix. Like, it's still in your mind, and it's like you're trying to debug it, You're trying to get it isolated, but it's like in order for them to really appreciate you, they want to appreciate something that's from within and it's glowing from inside of you. And no matter what, like that's what you have to focus on. You don't even have to worry about whether the woman's going to leave you or not. If she leaves you, that's her loss. There's going to be other women that are being drawing and are already drawing their attention to you. So it's like that's the last thing on your mind. She losing you is like her losing her universe.
Right.
Okay, so I'm about to throw a wrench. I think I'm gonna be the one that disagrees here. I'm pretty sure I'm the youngest one on the panel, so I might have a different perspective. But personally, for me, I just think it's due to circumstances. Right? We talk about the West and why the West is bad, but the West wasn't bad before. Right? In the early 40s and 50s, I mean, even in our Black community, we had an 80% success rate with marriage, and we don't have that anymore. And it's still the same place, still the same people. What changed, right? It's the incentives. The incentives changed. So for me personally, like my plan, I don't think I'm ever going to get married because a marriage contract is the only contract that you sign where it's an open contract. Like when I sign a contract, even if I sign an online contract where they say they accept in terms, right? I have to click continue and I have to accept in order for these new terms and conditions to be applied to me. However, marriage, as far as I'm aware, is the only contract where you sign where the terms are open-ended for you. And what I mean by that is, for example, if you were married in the, prior to no-fault divorce, when that was passed nationwide, or in the 80s when Ronald Reagan was president, if you were to prove infidelity with your spouse, your wife got nothing. You were able to divorce her, she got nothing, bada boom, bada bang. So people got married under the assumption that, if my wife cheats on me, I can kick her to the curb and get a new wife. And then they passed no-fault divorce. And even though you got married under the auspice that if she cheats, she gets nothing. Well, now the rules have changed, right? It's changed now. If she cheats, she still gets your stuff, no-fault divorce. And then they had the thing in the 90s where essentially, before it was a duty. I mean, it says in your vows, right, to have and to hold. And I'll leave that there. But in the 90s, they passed this thing called, marital SA, if you know what I'm saying. That didn't exist previously, right? That was a duty of your wife. I mean, you were able to divorce your wife if she didn't fulfill her duties, if you know what I'm saying. And then that was passed in the 90s, and now that's no longer a thing. So essentially, right, I don't know what the laws will be in the future, but I know that for the people in the past, they got married, under one pretense, and then when they got divorced under another. So, people they're planning and they're making all these, plans under the assumption of the laws now, but we don't know what the laws are going to be in the future. And I think that's why a lot of people in my age, right, millennial, I'm also Gen Z, right, the Gen Z generation, even the early millennial generation, we just realized this and we're like, we're just not going to sign the contract because it's the open-ended contract. I mean, you can plan for one thing, people have prenups, they think they're ironclad, and then what happened? Right, the laws changed. I mean, do you think they would have went through with that? They knew how the laws were going to be when they got divorced? No. And so I don't even blame women for how they act because it's simply just an incentives thing, right? If you got paid not to work, most people won't work. I would do that. I have integrity, but I've seen it even myself during COVID when they didn't allow, when I moved from New York to Miami, they didn't allow, they allowed people not to pay rent, and so many people just didn't pay rent. I remember my landlord was pleading with me, and I had of course I was going to pay my rent. I signed the contract, of course I was going to pay. I never not paid rent, but so many people just didn't pay rent when they were legally not able to, when they were legally not obliged to, and that was the majority of people, So I just go based off incentives. So my plan here, and this might sound, if you're religious, I get it, but if you're not religious, I think this is a solid plan. My plan is to be the best I can be, so that way when I'm with a chick, like you said, right, she is willing to take the risk. Because as a man, when you get married, you're taking a risk, right? Marriage is a risk for men, and that's why we're doing all these things to try to avoid and mitigate risk and vetting all that stuff. We're all trying to do this to mitigate risk. And my plan is I'm not taking the risk, right? Because really the whole point of marriage is for the woman, right? Because like what Theo said, right, we our value goes up as we get older and their value goes down. So we get married in order to make sure, the woman secures marriage in order to make sure that we don't trade up, right, when like we're in our 40s and her youth declines. So I'm not willing to do that anymore. You know what I mean? I'm just not willing to do that. I want her to take the risk.
Remember, you're talking about the West, and I specifically said, as everybody here, marriage in the West is no, you don't do that. So you have to go to another country and under another legal framework to actually get married.
Yeah, but I disagree with that as well.
I know. Well, abroad it's much more stable. You're in a much better position.
Yeah, I concur. Like, I think, and that's the reason why I'm, I'm Black Muslim. If you remember, if you recall, this is why I talked about you specifically about how your setup was in Morocco. But it's not just the U.S. that does this, right? All these other countries have passed these laws, right? And like I said, the fact that marriage is an open contract, right? In other words, I don't know what I'm agreeing to when I sign. That's the reason why I asked about Black Muslim. He said about the divorce stipulations all done beforehand. I'm like, okay, this is attractive to me because this is not an open contract, right? This is something that can be discussed, and we know what happens if there's divorce, right? It's all ironclad, supposedly, and that even then, I'm skeptical of that. Well, if I was going to go the marriage route, I think the Black Muslim route is the best route. But with all these countries, they've all enacted something similar to this, and we're seeing the same thing. I mean, I'm sure you've seen all these videos in China. I mean, you play those videos, right? These Chinese women, you're seeing the same thing happening there. They're becoming a lot like Western women because of the incentives. It's like, did the Chinese women change or did the incentives change? And so, yeah, I do agree that that abroad is more stable, but you can't predict the future. Just like the person who got married in 1970 couldn't predict the fact that, in the 80s, they would pass no-fault divorce. And then, now you have gray divorces where people were married all their lives and then their spouse divorces them and takes all their money when they're no longer working. Right. You just can't predict the future. And I'm just not willing to take that risk. So that's why my goal is to get myself to be as valuable as I can. That way the girl is willing to take the risk with me. Because I've had it time and time again. I personally think I can do that. Now, I'm just not willing to do that anymore. I'm not willing to take the risk, and that's my goal. I mean, that's my plan, and it's because of the fact that you just can't predict the future, right? If these things were ironclad, if I knew what I was agreeing to beforehand, then it would be no issue. But the problem is you don't know, right? Everything can change. Marriage is the only contract that I'm aware of where it's open-ended on your end, that you can sign it, agreeing to one terms in stipulations, and they can change to the next day, the next year, or even the next decade.
That's the West. No, again, that you're talking about the West. Marriage in Japan has remained the same. Korea, same. Thailand, same. Philippines, same. You can't even get divorced in the Philippines. It's illegal. Colombia, same. Brazil, same. That these things do not change. So you never know what the future is going to be. There's no guarantee. You don't know the day you're going to die. Right? You live with that every single day. Right? So you can't live in fear. You have to mitigate as much danger or risk as you possibly can and move on from there.
You can't even fear. That's a powerful word, fear. I like that. That's very powerful.
I agree. I do like that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, but you definitely got to take a chance, man. Come on, man. You a passport, bro, man. Take this flight, bro. Which country you like?
I'm already abroad. I live in Brazil right now. I'm going to Tokyo. I'm going to Japan in April. And I'm already living the life. I mean, IP knows my journey. Yeah.
You find wifey? You find wife? So Black Muslim. So for you, Jam, right? Would you see yourself marrying a Black Brazilian chick? Or
I'm already with one right now. I'm already with one right now. So that's how I'm learning my Portuguese. It's funny that Theo is learning his Portuguese as well. So yeah, I speak pretty good for someone who's only been here for a couple months. But it's mainly just because I have a girlfriend right now that I speak with, and she only speaks Portuguese. I don't like my girl speaking English. I even told her that I don't want you to learn English because
Do you plan on getting married in Brazil, Jam, or is marriage not your thing?
I mean, I'm considering that because I'm already doing the whole visa situation, and in order to get like a passport, because I'm in the business of collecting passports. I want as many passports as possible, and so one of the ways to get a passport is to get married or to have a kid here in Brazil. So I'm weighing my options here, right? I have a lawyer, that I've been dealing with the past couple months. I already got my one visa, but I'm trying to get at least permanent residency next, and then we'll see about the passport. But yeah, I'm living a life here. Like, I'm not just saying this. I'm not just talking. I'm actually living this life. You saw me before when I first came in on this channel. I was in Miami, and now I've been living abroad for the past in Brazil for the past 6 months. But I've been traveling abroad for the past year and a half. So I'm living this life. I'm just saying that these are things that I think is the reason why a lot of people my age and under, right? Why the men are just not willing to do that. Because if you are a man that's successful, you are a man that has the value. It's like, why take the risk? You know what I mean? Like, unless it's a religious reason, right? Why take the risk? I understand if you're religious, but it's like, okay, unless it's an actual tangible benefit of getting married, I just don't see the need to take that risk.
So this girl, you like her?
I do.
Is she marriage material? Like, for what you want in a marriage? And by this point, you sound old enough to know what you want in a marriage.
Oh yeah, no, she's great. She's fantastic. I mean, she's exactly the type of, you're just not gonna find a black girl like this in the U.S. Because that's part of the reason why I went to Brazil, was to find. Because I like black women. You know what I mean? And in the U.S., you just can't find one that looks good and acts right. But over here, they're very abundant.
Okay, and then do you see her being the mother of your children?
Possibly.
So you got like most of the box checked, man. So what's holding you back is the fact that she might be able to take something. But as Theo said already, she can't take nothing of your assets if you're only married in Brazil.
Yeah, right now, yeah. I mean, right now we don't. That's what I'm saying. It's just because of a precedent has already been set. Like in case law and like I said, my sister's a divorce attorney, so this is also another reason why I'm also I kind of know about this. I'm a little wary because she even took me to these case laws and stuff like that, so I can see it firsthand. I'll never forget when she took me to one of these cases where the dude, he lost his job and they put him in prison because he couldn't pay child support. And it's not because he wasn't trying; he literally lost his job. He's working at McDonald's, working like 70-hour weeks, but he couldn't pay the child support he was paying beforehand, and they threw him in prison. I never even understood why. I didn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. I'm like, why would he do that? He's not going to pay if he's in prison. But they do that so they can scare the rest of the people, so that way they find a way to pay. Whether they beg family members or whatever, they find a way to pay it because the government makes money off that child support. So I'll never forget that. You know what I mean? And like I said, that is something you just don't.
Again, you just said it yourself. They did it so other people will be afraid. You can't live in fear. That's what you just said. And so the thing here is, if this woman is a good woman, meet her family, right? Ask her the questions, right? Does she come to your house and does she clean when she comes to your house, or does she just sit there and be like, I'm a guest? If she comes in,
no, she does all that. She does everything you would want. Does all that.
Okay, so she's a good woman. You can see her being the mother of your kids. Do you want to have more than one woman, or are you okay with one woman?
I mean, for now, I'm not gonna. Honestly, I would have said before more than one, but honestly, since being with her, like I literally had no reason to. I'm content right now. I'll be honest with you. I've had no reason.
Really, this is not a difficult process. After this point, you just because in the West, right, the United States government typically vetoes power over marriage contracts, you can still make your own marriage contract. And it doesn't have to be a prenup. It doesn't have to be a prenup. You can say what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. And I don't know, does Brazil, I'm going to ask people in the panel, does Brazil have 50 half laws when you get divorced? Is that a thing in Brazil?
So I talked to my lawyer, and it's like, it's not quite like America, but you might have to pay something. It's just like, I'm still talking to him about that, to get the works. But yeah, it's not quite America. It's not like crazy like America like that, where she gets half your stuff, but you don't just go away scot-free or something like that. You know what I mean?
But again, if the majority of your assets are in America, she doesn't. That's all zero for her because she can't. It's your assets that are in Brazil.
Yeah, but let me and like I said, I'm not trying. I don't want to, because I know you're going to say the whole fear thing, but it's just like, this is what I've seen with my own eyes, right? So like people will do this, right? They, in America, they've done this. They'll create their assets abroad, and guess what they'll do, right? When they suspect you have assets, they don't even have that proof. They just suspect you have assets abroad that you're hiding. They'll just put you in prison until you give it up. I've really seen it happen. Right?
That's the U.S. system, not abroad. They don't do that. No.
Yeah, but okay. So I guess what I'm saying is, So. And I'll ask Steve, Black Muslim, I understand why you're getting married. I understand that makes sense for you, but I'll ask Steve, why would you get married, right?
So, Jam, hold that thought there, bro. Sorry. Shout out to Abdullah for the support. Definitely listen to the Saying Listener for, okay, thank you, bro. Shout out to Mr. Nosy MacBook for the support. You know why? They're checking for brothers. Okay, who's checking for brothers, bro? Clarify that, please, in the chat. Thank you very much. Fine with Jam, sorry, bro.
So I would get married, in particular, if I wanted to make children with somebody, and I wanted to make sure my assets were properly transferred to her. So in that case, if I saw that this was long term, and I was in another country, and I had good representation with a lawyer, oh yeah, that's exactly what I would be doing. And then I would be talking with my lawyer here and say, you know what to do, you know what I need, and he would take care of things in the States for me. That's exactly the way it go down.
Do you have to get married to have children, though? Can't you just be in a relationship, right, without getting married and having children with her, bro?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
As far as physics is concerned, Yes, you don't have to. But as far as emotional intelligence, the best possible upbringing for your child is in a marriage. And that's so many studies been done on it. We all know, bros. You know what I'm saying? Your children coming in the house, like I was married for 13 years. I know what that's like, even though my wife wasn't like doing all the things that I would like her to do. It's still a huge benefit. My children are still leagues above the other kids in the public school systems and so on and so forth. And I just moved on because I wasn't satisfied. It's for if you're gonna get married and have kids, it's the best thing to do for your kids, and it's their right over you. Like I was telling you guys before, they have a right that you give them a good mother.
When you're abroad, you don't want the foreigners to the natives to be saying, "There's the black foreigner who refuses to marry our native and keeps on making kids with her,"
or even worse, not even making kids. It's like, I mean, we have a thing here in the States called the dual income, no kids marriage. I mean, that's something like, you have to think about that. Like, that is something that's horrible. And you have to ask, is that something that you want to bring over like in another part of the world that is foreign, that would be shamed and shunned? I mean, it's like, you have to really consider about that. I mean, if you just want to be single, I mean, just date women, fine. But like, if you're talking about marriage, I mean, like, it's a whole different mindset, whole different dynamic that you're talking about in another country, and you're trying to bring that Western mentality over there. It's not going to fly.
Yeah, it's not going to fly at all. They're gonna look at you as some sort of social deviant for you're a foreigner in their country making kids with the natives. This isn't going to work.
How would they know? How would they know? I mean, like, how would they actually know? Well, it's not like they see my marriage contract.
These are some nosy people, bro.
Yeah, you got that right. I mean, I'm here in the South, and it's like very people really know what's going on. I mean, like you may not think, but word goes around really quick. I mean,
eventually she's going to say it. Somebody else is going to say it. At the school, they're going to look at documents. They're going to notice that her document is different from the kids, from yours. And they're going to be like the bank accounts are going to be different. Things like that. It just comes up. They're like, hey, you're just living with her. That's all.
Also, marriage is, if you have children and you're with this chick, marriage is also nobility for most cultures outside of the West. It's their honor. And if this woman is really she's not being a good woman to you. Part of that is who she is, but she also wants the accolades that come with it, like the nobility of being a wife. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, if she's really doing all that good for you and she's proven herself to be really what it is, then it's not a horrible thing to give her. And you brothers, you guys got to remember, like, tailor your marriage in a way. If it comes to divorce, it's no stress on your back. It's like, okay, fine, we didn't work out. We get in boyfriend girlfriend relationships all the time and break up. A marriage could be that, but the difference is like, you get to give the children the nobility thing, and you get to give a real shot at making it work. Because what if it does? We talking about a lot of what if it doesn't, but what if it does? And now you get to grow old with this woman who had your back from day one when you got here.
Yeah,
and she's a good woman. You can proudly say, I actually got a good woman.
Right. Yeah. So for most of you, you guys have grown up or only been really exposed to dysfunctional, narcissistic Western marriages. And that's why you have the taste in your mouth that you do. Luckily, I come from a time period in which there were more solid marriages. And then I went abroad and I saw solid marriages also. I'm like, okay, I know what's going on. This is something that's good. But you have to have the proper protection. That's the big thing. This is why I say, like, again, how many times I said on your stream, I don't talk to them. It's not that I don't marry Western women. I don't even talk to them. Because I know marriage is impossible. It ain't gonna happen. It's just I don't know. I look at my American friends who have children here. I'm like, are you okay, bro? Because what is the likelihood of an Order 66 going down on you? Yeah. So abroad,
I just don't think I'm going to do it unless I'm looking into Islam, and if I end up converting, then that's probably the route I'll take. That's probably why I'll get married. But I don't think I'll get married without a religious reason and without like you mentioned the whole woman, right? Like it's like, well, I also want her. I think religion is another good deterrent, right, against marriage. Like, you have a God-fearing woman, right? That's another deterrent. You want as many deterrents as possible. So, that's kind of like what I'm looking at. But yeah, I mean, like,
I was gonna say it is, but it's also a deterrent for her. Like, she knows that you won't just throw her out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Because you fear God. You know what I'm saying? So.
Exactly, precisely. That's what I'm saying. So even with the girl I'm with right now, she's good and all that stuff. It's like, I'm just gonna convert to Islam if I go. Like, I don't know if that's gonna happen. So I'm just kind of, I'm kind of just coasting right now. But these, like I said, these are the concerns of just not just me, but just most people that are around my age and stuff like that. Because at this point, I've been, I've had the markers for marriage for quite a while. Like, I've had the money. You know what I mean? I have the assets. I'm pretty much good to go. I don't have kids. If it wasn't for all this essentially illegal stuff, right? I probably had kids a couple of years ago, maybe even like 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I mean? I think if it was a different time period, that's when I would have had kids way sooner. But even the people who stay married, because like I said, I don't come from a broken home. Like, my parents are still married to this day. And my dad is the most masculine, patriarchal dude that I know. I mean, he's literally my role model. That's how I want to be like. And I'm not just saying that to be sad. I actually really look up to him. But even him, he defers to my mother in a way that he just wouldn't defer to anyone else. I mean, I've seen him curse out. I've seen him send it to his bosses. People literally write his checks. He won't do it to his mom. He won't do it to my mother. And that you gotta wonder why that is. And so even though I want to be married, I also want marriage in a traditional sense. I don't want the woman to, like, for example, like, obviously the woman has to say so, but if she wants to go left, I want to go right. I want her to trust in my judgment to go right. I don't want to have to deal with an argument with a woman. I want a very traditional marriage. Even if they're married, it's like oftentimes I see that the men just kind of capitulate in order to keep the peace because they have the most to lose at that point. And so it's tough. I mean, like I said, I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I'm saying that, it's just, it's like you're going to be taking a risk either way. Like what you guys are saying. I mean, yeah, don't live in fear, but you live in fear. You're taking a risk either way. And that's the way I see it.
Well, I know about this very well because I have 2 of my older brothers and several cousins who were Pookies and were locked up, and they didn't learn from their lesson. And, they were literally living from paycheck to paycheck, but most of it going to child support. But they kept doing the same thing over and over again. And so at a certain point, yes, you can get wisdom from learning from what people from observations, but it can turn otherwise by being in a state of fear and anxiety, and that is a double-edged sword. So you have to be mindful of that, even though you're somewhere else where it's completely different. It seems like you have a good woman in your life. If you're seeing things are in the right signs and things are going where they're supposed to go, just focus on being able to be that man, so that you don't have to worry about the woman being, otherwise. Like, you have to be that guy in order for her to be that woman, to still maintain that way. If you're talking about tradition and things of that sort. I mean, like, I've seen degeneracy all around me, okay, but I still was able to at least learn from it, but not allow it to affect what my view is on women. I did have a red pill rage probably 12 years ago, and it was just horrible, just from the things I've seen. But at a certain point, you've got to you gotta let go of that doubt and fear. You just gotta, in order for you to be in your element as a man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna respond to this and then I'll be done at this point, because like I said, I do believe in marriage and I believe society would be better off from marriage. So I do believe, this is why I keep going back and forth with myself, because I know that we'd be better off in a married society. Right? The black community was best when we were married. I mean, you see what happened when marriage went off a cliff. The black community went off on a cliff. So I completely agree with y'all. But I do want to counteract what this guy just said, because this is the type of advice that, I think the previous generation heard all this time. Like, essentially, be a man, be strong, be stoic, and she'll listen. No, I don't believe that's the case. I don't believe that at all, because I just believe things are based off incentives, right? If you had kids, but you didn't have any authority over your kids, right? So, you have your kids, you're able to raise your kids. You're in charge of them, you have to take care of them, but you have no authority over them. Your kids are going to rebel against you. Part of the reason your kids listen is because there's consequences. So, you saying you be the great man, whatever. If she doesn't care about you anymore. She don't like you like that anymore. And she knows she's going to leave you and get the goods. There's no incentive for her to act right. You know what I mean? And that's just really the truth of it is, people are just based off incentives. I mean, you have God-fearing people who are able to, despite all the incentives, act right, but that's not most people. And you won't know that until you're in a situation. I mean, there's a reason why we have, there's a reason why we're able to look at economics and we're able to study trends. And yeah, maybe some people will deviate from the trend, but we can look at the group, the aggregate, and make very spot on, right? What's called predictions, right? Just based off how human nature is. And so, this whole thing of like being, your own man, being stoked, being this, I mean, plenty of men have done that. And if you're going left, all society is going right. Sorry, go ahead.
Let me read this. Sorry, since a crypto says it, right? You have to be careful though. Some of these countries, it's very hard to own anything there, and the woman will own the home and leave and be with another man from a country common story. Never thought about that actually.
No, we know about that. You have to know about the legal environment. That's why you have to study that first. Then you can figure out if you're going to do this or not. All right. Again, you have to say this is what it is here. This is what it is here. This is what it is here. Like for example, if I'm going to marry a Ukrainian, I'd probably pull her into Brazil or Colombia. That's how I do. I wouldn't marry her in Ukraine. Right. So that's why I say you got to be creative about this and look at the actual environment. Don't live in fear about it. But again, what the gentleman is saying here, you sound very much the way I was thinking for my 10 years of monk mode. And you have to go through this. Since I wasn't dating anyone when I went through my monk mode, there was no woman in my life. But you have to fundamentally go through this and then come to the conclusion, is it worth it? Yes or no? If it's not, then okay, then you don't do it. I wouldn't have been with a woman. I wasn't going to be with a woman because you're with somebody who can get child support off of you, right? She can get pregnant, right? So for me, even the possibility of pregnancy was not tolerable. So there was no woman around, right? So you have to think what your risk profile is and take it from there. Eventually you'll probably figure out what you want to do and think, if you want kids or not, then you have to think about the situation.
I just want to say, okay, go ahead.
Yep, go on. No,
I was just going to say, I saw Wade in the chat. He said, we have to fight for what we want. I'm going to be honest, man. I don't feel like it's such a fight. I think the biggest fight for us is gaining wealth. Like, women, like when you go abroad, man, these women are so ready to be wives, ready to be loved, ready to help you succeed. You just have to be upfront with them, man. I was very upfront with my wife. I told her I'm going to have multiple wives. Are you okay with that? She was like, yeah. She said, but I want this. She made her stipulations. I said, okay, I agree to that. Like we had a conversation and we negotiated. She said, before you get another wife, you have to give me this, 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 this. I said, okay, no problem. I think the biggest fight for us is to get in the wealth. Once you get the wealth, man, you can move as fast as you want to move. Just be upfront with these. Just tell them like, this is what I'm here to do. This is what I want.
Let me ask this, right? So Sophia, right, from a Japan perspective, right? Japan and this another popular country, Japan and Colombia, right? So you get a Japanese chick, right? You live in Japan. More than likely that the house be in her name because that's her country. She probably owns a property or her parents' property. So are you beholden to her? Isn't that a bit tough there because she's had leverage over you? That's the way you stay. If it goes wrong, where you're gonna stay? Do you buy your own property in Japan? Or I never thought about that.
That's not how Japanese women act. You're describing a Western woman in Japan. That's entirely not how Japanese act. They don't even begin to think that way. And then if you again, when you actually have to sign the document for the divorce, you have to go to the government about this. So if you want to go to war with her, she's going to have a 5-year war with you. She's going to think twice about that. So you have to get out of your Western thinking, IP. You have to be thinking that you're in that environment. How is that woman going to act, and how is the law going to act in that environment?
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed.
I think we have some effects of PTKD, post-traumatic Keisha disorder.
Yeah, man. Because everybody's kind of like they're gonna do the same thing they do here. Like it doesn't work that way. You got a couple of things that's different. You got societal pressure. Like they view divorce badly. Like she can't keep a man. That kind of argument. They have, the government just doesn't like in Morocco. Like told me they made sure I understood it because they were speaking in Arabic and English. What is hers, and what is yours. If you purchase things during the marriage and it's in your name, then it's just yours. If you purchase things during marriage and it's in her name, and then it's just hers. So if y'all get divorced, what was purchased in whoever's name during the marriage is just that person's. It made it very clear. But you know who enforces that? Moroccan men enforce that. They're never gonna let that change because they need that to continue on for the way that they maintain their marriages. So they're not gonna change that.
Yep.
But it depends on where you are. I can't speak on Brazil. I can't speak on other places. I can't speak on Japan. But I can tell you about Morocco. But like you gotta do like Theo said. Do your research on the country.
Are you living in Morocco right now, Black Muslim?
Yeah, I'm in Morocco right now. I'm in Marrakesh. It's 6 a.m.
Wow. 2 a.m. here in Brazil. It's 2 a.m. here in Brazil.
This conversation is
5 a.m.
I took a nap for this conversation. When I saw IP banner.
Wait, let's get a time check. 5 a.m. IP in London?
Birmingham, 5 a.m. over here.
2 a.m. here in Rio.
It's 11 p.m. here.
Yeah, it's 11 p.m. here. Yeah. So
Wow.
Black Muslim,
by 10 minutes.
Black Muslim's always happy. He sends me all these photos. So he's all happy. I'm just like, damn. I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, okay, all the money I got, Black Muslim just beat me, just straight out. I can't even buy what he's giving me. I don't get this good kind of treatment even in a restaurant. He just totally won. Like, my God.
Yeah, you're winning, bro.
Come on out here, guys. Oh, I forgot to tell you, IP. A few guys from the network came out here from the Discord. 3 guys came actually. And
The public or the private one? The public or private one?
The private one.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, they just came. One is getting married to a Moroccan woman. He just met her family, so he's probably they're setting a date soon. And then the other guy, he actually didn't use none of our resources. I just want to say this to guys: please use the resources the IP putting up for help you guys. He didn't use none of the resources. He came here with Boost Mobile. He didn't have any service on his phone. He came here. He didn't make any plans. He didn't know where he was going. He had a really bad time.
Oh well.
Wow, amazing. The one that's getting married. Did he meet a chick and marry her within 3 months or 6 months, or is it a long-term thing?
He's been talking to her now for about 6 months. He just met the family. He didn't get married yet. He's there setting a date.
Awesome, man. And
congratulations
to that, bro. Seattle, interesting. Yeah. Okay, I need to. Send me his username on Discord, bro. Yeah. Yes, please. In our Discord chat, bro. That'd be great. That's congratulations to him. I want to congratulate him. Maybe get him on the channel for an interview. That's great, man. Yeah, I think we need that post-traumatic stress Keisha syndrome. It's flipping. It's we need to get rid of that.
Post-Keisha traumatic stress disorder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys got this. I don't have it in my head. I don't.
I just never had it, just because I've seen it so much. I was an uncle at 5 years old, because my oldest brother he was locked up and his daughter was born, and I haven't had a life as a kid. I've been an adult since I was 5. Okay. And I have over almost 24 of them, and most of them are illegitimate. So, just because they are, it hasn't affected what I want to do with my life and wanting to settle down. And it's hard. I understand, because you see everything, but you have to look at it. That's their life. It's your life. It's your world. It's how you see it and how you want to live it. And you want to be in a position where Well, the woman that enters into your life, she can enter into your world, and that world could be safe for her because you're holding it. It's yours. No one else can take it from you.
Yeah, I didn't really deal with Keisha's mainly just because I could just get better quality women outside. But I always wanted to, Keisha, to be honest with you, it's just I couldn't get one that looked good and acted right in the U.S. until much later. And then at that point, I kind of was turned off by them. You know what I mean? But so that my issue isn't dealing with Keisha. It's more so like the girls I did deal with. Up until I went abroad, I just didn't get wife material. Like, they were great, they were fun. You know what I mean? I liked hanging out with them, but you just knew, this ain't gonna go anywhere besides where it is right now. So,
all right, awesome, great stream. Yeah, all right, let's go for closing statements. Everyone get some sleep. So, Mr. Shout out to Crypto Bro for the support, much appreciated, bro. Guys get married to purchase land in countries that they cannot own land in. So the marriage and home ownership is often connected. You need to know the laws before marriage. Yes, indeed. That's absolute facts, man. Definitely. Maybe we do a stream of that in the future, knowing the laws before you go to any country and knowing how to move about that. It's very important. Thank you, bro. So, Mr. Duck, do you have any closing statements?
No particular closing statements. I think this was just a great discussion. You get a lot perspectives and balanced on this matter, but this was a great stream as always, and then also, like Theo was talking about earlier, just stay focused on trying to get your skills for work and employment. The women will come at another time. Like, they'll be there, they're going to always be there. Just get some skill, get your bread right, and everything else would just happen organically. So that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you, Duck. Much appreciated, bro. Mr. Jam, do you have any closing statements?
Yeah, there's a comment that said that this guy he's talking about, he hasn't been abroad. Dude, I'm living abroad right now. I've been to 12 different countries. I've actually lived abroad in several countries for a couple of months. You know what I mean? So, what are you talking about here? I'm literally living in Brazil right now. I lived in the Philippines for 2 months. I lived in Thailand for 6 months. I lived in several other countries for months at a time. I'm working abroad and living abroad right now. So I'm actually living this stuff. I'm not just talking about it. I'm actually literally doing this right now. I've done streams on my IP about some of the countries I've been in, which, by the way, we never done the Philippines stream or the Thailand stream IP or the Brazil update stream, because before then I just went for vacation for 2 months. Now I'm living here. So if you want to do that, let me know. But I'm living abroad right now, so I don't know where you. Anyway, I don't know where that came from.
Because you're bringing your Keisha mentality, you're bringing your Western mentality abroad. That's why I say that you're not abroad. So even if you are abroad, but you have that mentality, you're not really there. You got to bring that Western mentality, throw it back, recognize where you are, and only have the mentality for there. Then everything will work for you better. That's my point.
Yeah, I'm just very risk averse. I guess I've worked really hard. Real quick, I guess I worked really hard for this stuff. I don't want to lose it, but I'm doing everything. I'm learning the languages. I'm not just staying here. I'm actually learning the language in the countries I've been in and all that stuff. It's just I'm very risk averse because it took me this long, right, to accrue what I have. I don't want to lose it. So maybe it's a Northern mentality, but like I said, I'm actually doing the work here. So that's it. With that being said, thanks for the stream IP. Very great discussion.
Thank you, bro. Much appreciated, man. Thank you, Jam. We'll get those streams done by the end of this show, hopefully. So, Mr. Black Muslim, any closing statements, brother?
Yeah, man, this was a great stream, brothers. Appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow in class, Theo. Only thing I want to say is, fellas, the beginning of rebuilding our community is marriages, because married men, their focus is money. I'm telling you. All right, man. That's all I got to say. Thanks for the stream. And Brother Jam, like, you're doing good, man. Just keep moving forward. You're gonna get there, man. Just talk to that lawyer, make sure you know the laws, and then go ahead and pull the trigger, man. Enjoy your life, man.
Thank you, Black Muslim. Appreciate you, bro. Mr. Theo Waff, any closing statements, bro? What the flip?
Good stream. I'm glad we got to talk about these points. I'm glad we got to go through them. Look, guys, for the most part, if you don't know who you are and you don't know what you want in a relationship, you shouldn't be dating. And you shouldn't be dating in the West. And without a doubt, marriage in the West is not is not good. Do not do it. You need to marry abroad, and then you need to make sure you don't bring your wife over to your country, to the West, or at least that you do not register the marriage and you do not give her a marriage visa to the West. All right. Guys, that's how you protect yourself. I didn't give my Japanese wife a green card or anything like that. She couldn't do anything because I didn't sponsor. So guys, keep on working, do the best what you can do for yourself, and there's a possibility you can do well. Well, that's Eva. Eva and Chewbacca are fighting with each other right now. All right, guys. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you guys next week, okay?
Thank you, Theo. Salute to you, bro. Much appreciated, Theo.
Yeah.
Hey, take it easy, Chewbacca, man. Don't be naughty. Shout out to all your brothers. Thank you to all the brothers here at the super chats. Hit the PayPal too if you can after the stream. If you can support, that'd be greatly appreciated. The PayPal is open 24/7. As you know, YouTube takes a 45% cut on each and every super chat. PayPal doesn't. So if you can support on the PayPal, that'd be greatly appreciated. Join the Patreon for into stocks, crypto, foreign women, and traveling. I posted my experience in Munich, Germany, the travel itinerary for hotels, for sightseeing, leisure stuff. That's on the Patreon, so go and check that out. If you're interested in going to Munich, Germany is fantastic. It's great. You will love it. Okay, so please go and check that out. Okay, it's been a pleasure. Have a great week ahead, and we shall see you, good brothers, next week. Peace out. And shout out to all the guys who called in. Appreciate you, brothers, man. Peace.